Joe Rowe.
Joe Rowe?
I don't know.
A Matthew Judon spider. We are
All
live.
Help me
right.
look it up. They'll be coming to see him.
Yeah. We're getting new spiders, Joe. From
Yeah, I saw them, the flying ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Does he know you're afraid of spiders?
Yeah, he knows.
I
He
wonder
knows
how
I'm
they.
afraid of
I wonder how
spiders.
they got here.
Yeah. And why the fuck couldn't they exterminate? You know what I mean? Bastards. Well, here we
A little
go.
while ago, there was a giant black one like running toward me, where I'm
Running
sitting right
forward?
now,
Fuck that.
and
I've been running the other
it
way.
came like right close to my hand. And I flicked it, and it went across the room. I don't know where it.
Actually, I did that.
It wasn't one of those furry ones.
I felt
was it?
bad.
Was it felt bad?
Yeah,
Let
I don't.
play with
I don't.
it.
I don't
Cats
mind.
like spiders.
I don't mind spiders.
Oh, fuck that. Not me. Not me. So, since we're the only ones in here right now, apparently, is this going to be like a greatest hits talk, a little bit about the positive spins and all?
Yeah, I think we should go through some of our favorites and stuff. I think that'd be fun. We've been wanting to do this for a long time, and we just never did. So.
Yeah, that's what I told Corinne. I was like, now it's kind of a necessity for the simple fact that of things that are going on.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if I should turn on a light. I don't know. So, yeah. I really liked it. I told Rob, I haven't really talked to Rob much lately, or Glenn, or actually, I haven't really talked to any of them. I told him that I saw -1.
Yeah.
He said, "You like it?" I said, "Yeah." Said, other than Godzilla versus Megalon, obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Bless you. It was, it's my favorite Godzilla movie. And that's tough too, because I loved Kong. So I almost chose that one.
Godzilla versus Kong?
Yeah.
Me too.
But the reason why we still don't have anybody on here, do we?
Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the reason why I chose King of the Monsters is because it's got all of them in there. It's got King Ghidorah and Mothra, and I just had so much fun with that movie. That movie's badass. So I look forward to watching all of them again. I throw on one every once in a while and watch it.
Like I said, with Godzilla, it's one of those things where I watch one and then I get on a kick and I want to watch a few. It's like I can never. It's like a potato chip. I can't just have one.
Right.
Like I always need to watch at least another one or two of them to satisfy my hunger for it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
I can break you of that though.
What?
Even though they're really good. Look,
Yep.
Final Wars, Tokyo SOS, 2000.
Yeah.
They're really good. Don't get me wrong. They're fun. They're inventive. But they're real long. They're really long.
I think I've seen Final Wars. I think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen so many of them. Like I said, when I was younger, I grew up watching them.
Yeah.
We had a family friend that he lived downstairs. Him and his sons lived downstairs from us when it was just me and my mom before she got remarried. So, I told you about him before. We used to go on family vacations with them and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was also my mom's boss, and they were like family to us. And he's like a big part of my love for horror movies, because I used to go downstairs and watch horror movies with him all the time, and we'd rent horror movies every weekend and all that.
Cool.
He's the one who got me into Phantasm and everything. And
oh, nice.
One of his sons was a huge Godzilla fan. Like he had like the Godzilla action figures, the giant ones and stuff. And so
Yeah.
I always grew up watching them with him. But as a kid, I didn't know which one was which. We just, you know what I mean? That he would just have them on, and I would watch them.
Yeah.
It was like, I wasn't paying attention to which Godzilla was which. So I've seen pretty much all of like the old ones.
Yeah.
I just don't know which one was which. And over the years, I've pretty much seen most. I mean, I've seen most. I would say there's like what 39 of them now, and I've probably seen close to at least 30. I'd say so.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen just about all of them. I started looking into the other era, the one in between, and some of them are just so expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of them are really hard to find.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't like every kaiju movie. I can't. I like Gamera. I like Godzilla. Still, Howl from the Fog was freaking awesome. You really need to see that one. And I'm still shocked that SRS put it out. Not that they don't put out good movies. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie was classy. This movie was done incredibly well. And it was all puppets.
What is this one?
It's called Howl from the Fog. Okay. It's technically a kaiju movie because it's got the Asian legend.
Howl from Beyond the Fog, is that the one?
I think that's it. Yeah. It's only 43 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it says 35 minutes short film.
It's so good, dude.
It looks
with
cool.
Puppets. Yeah, it's really good.
The pictures that I'm looking at. But yeah, I mean, as for the other Godzillas, I mean, if we eventually decide to do them, I'm sure I can make a little set of like the lost ones.
There's a lot of them.
But I'm saying for like the 39. Right now there's 39.
Yeah.
With Godzilla X Kong or whatever it's called, that's coming out on Tuesday. That's the 39th
Right.
Godzilla movie. So, and
now
between the ones, I mean, with the ones we have, I mean, especially you, I mean, I have quite a lot of them as well. So it wouldn't be a whole lot we'd have to add.
Yeah. Huh. Oh well. So yeah. I don't know what you would need actually. I guess you would need the Toho set, the first set. But then again, I'm sending you 2 of those.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I felt like I have a couple of those already. And the first set only has maybe like 5 movies as opposed to the 7 on the second. So
right.
I was kind of like, it seems odd because a couple of these I already have, and then like you said, you're sending, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Fun movies. Well, the whole thing with getting rid of my videotapes, I had a bunch of Godzilla tapes, and I had the ones that weren't necessarily the best picture quality, but they were fun because it was like double features.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, they were just neat. I
got some cool ones, and the Godzilla tapes, they have cool cover art too for a lot of them. So
yes,
I got some of those that are pretty cool.
Yeah, they got the Showa, the Heisei era, and the I guess the modern era. I guess is that what they call it?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I want to see though, so maybe I'll catch some of them on Tubi, the ones that are like way too expensive.
Well, like I said, I'm sure someday we'll tackle all of them.
Whew, but no, I'm talking about like not the Godzilla films, but the kaiju films that are from that different era.
Oh, that's a whole other can of worms.
Right. Yeah. Artragon, and yeah.
I'm saying if we stick to strictly Godzilla for something, then that's much more doable.
Yeah. I do have Rodan. Do you have that one?
I do. I actually have the Vestron VHS.
Nice. I got the DVD somewhere upstairs. Yeah. I have to look through all my VHS in order to see exactly what I have and what I don't have. Because the way I have them now, you can't see all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing like having a big collection, right? Oh, you know what I found today? But I put it back.
What?
I found Godfather Part 2, the Blu-ray, by itself. The reason why I put it back is because it had the old silver strip on the top and the bottom.
Oh, so you're afraid of the disc rot?
I am. Plus, I mean, I have the whole set.
Hmm.
So I don't really need it,
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah. Am I missing something? Are we on or are we live? Yeah, we're live. Hey, how about that?
That's all right. Something for people to watch later.
Yeah, that's cool. So, yeah.
We can talk about the topic stuff when people come in. So for now, we can just whatever.
What about the recommendations? Wait,
Yeah, we'll wait a little bit.
that's fine. We doing a HOF today?
No, I don't think we should. This isn't
Yeah, I know.
not really like a physical media matters stream, more
Yeah.
to highlight
Oops.
the other discussion.
Yeah.
And then talk about positive spins, of course, too.
Yeah. I still can't believe Jaws the Revenge got 800 and some.
Oh, speaking of Jaws the Revenge,
Mhm.
when I was at that store the other day that I go to, the $2 store, as they call it, there was a guy in there talking about the Jaws movies because he bought, I guess, the first one on Blu-ray or whatever. He was buying it, so he was cashing out. And I was eavesdropping. I was listening because I was looking in the section. And obviously, if someone's talking about horror or whatever, I'm listening, you know. And
I do the same thing.
he's asking one of the guys that works there, you know, what he thinks of the Jaws sequels. And the guy was saying how he really liked Jaws 3D for whatever reason. He had like a story of seeing it in the theaters or whatever. You
Okay.
know, like
That
kind of
makes
a
sense.
nostalgia thing. But how
Like
he
me.
doesn't remember the others. And the guy who was buying Jaws, he's like, you know which one I love? He goes, Jaws the Revenge. He's like, that's actually my favorite sequel. He's like, everybody hates it. He goes, but I like that movie a lot. And he's like explaining it to him. He's like, you know, the opening kind of starts out like the first movie. It's in the
Yes.
same town, and it really has that feel to it. But it's Christmas time. And then they go, you know, then they go on the plane, and they tell him like all about the movie. And I'm sitting there with this big smile on my face because I was like, hell yeah! Like for once, hearing somebody say something nice about a movie that's
I
universally
know.
hated. Because I mean, that's how we felt about this last time we watched it. We're like, hey, you know what? This isn't that bad anymore. I really had a good time with it when we did it for Positive Spin.
I did too, and I feel like I hated it for a while, but I don't feel like I ever hated it all the way from like a long time ago, because it's one of those movies that I know me, you, and Brad talked about that I wanted to like more, kind of almost convincing myself that I really liked it when I saw it in the theaters.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
Yeah. But every once in a while I throw it on and watch it.
Yeah.
So I must not have hated it if I watched it.
I think it's fun. Hey, Ben. Hey, Texas Horror. Yeah.
Hey, Ben.
Ben says Jaws 4 is the second favorite Christmas horror shark movie, right behind Santa Jaws.
Santa Jaws. That movie's something else, man.
It is funny though, like I said in Jaws the Revenge and our Positive Spin, and you and I talked about it. It's funny how they do establish a pretty cool Christmas vibe early in that film. Like for a Jaws film, it has a nice little seasonal feeling in the beginning, you know?
It does. The most interesting thing for me was learning about everything that went down in the film. Like they I think it was a video called like what the WTF was Joseph Sargent, I think that was his name, that directed it. What was he thinking?
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually kind of interesting because they had him on there and they were talking to him and they asked him a bunch of questions about the filming, and man, he went through some shit on that.
Yeah.
I mean, they took budget away from him. There was originally a different director and he came in to clean up his mess, and
it's exactly why people should be careful with how they criticize films. Like I understand people aren't going to like things. That's one thing, but again, it always helps to know the backstory of a certain film. Like,
it does.
And I'll use myself as an example. Like you and I talked about this one. Elm Street 4 for me was never a favorite. Yep. Elm Street 4 was one of my least favorite Elm Street films for like ever. Like I was never a big fan of Elm Street 4. But then when
Jesus Christ, changed my mind on it.
But then, like I said, I started watching stuff about it, like the making of, and reading stuff about it, and like everything that went through the making of that film, and it made me so much more interested in it that when I watched it after seeing that, I was like, you know what? I kind of get it now. It's like it's kind of
Yeah.
cool to see how this came to be and why they did this. And so, yeah, of course there are things I don't like about it, but I'm not gonna. But I can understand why those things are there.
Oh wow. 1, 4, 2, and 3. I like that. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey.
I
I
mean,
don't
I
fault
love
anyone
two.
for their rankings.
I love two. So I mean,
I do too. I do
two's
as
my
well.
but it's like I having two as my favorite, I'm still able to understand like there's silly things in that one that people make fun of Jaws Revenge. Oh, the shark roars. Okay. In part
Yeah.
two, he literally drags down a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, so we're not okay with the roaring, but we're okay with the shark pulling down the helicopter. It's just funny how people pick and choose. I love them both. I mean, the fact that the shark pretty much gets blown up in the second one and gets his face burned, so he goes around half the film with a half scarred face, and we're okay with that. But God forbid the shark roars. It's just it's just funny, Like I always say, people pick and choose what they criticize about movies, but
And it was so good when he pulled down that helicopter that they did it again in Great White, the
right,
last shark.
right.
That's just crazy.
Hey, Jaws has got nothing on Sharknado.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I had fun with those.
Oh man, so did
So
I.
much fun with those.
I gotta say, I've been thinking about them ever since we've watched all of them. They were so much fun.
Yeah. Underrated films, for sure. And, it's not like it doesn't know exactly what it is.
I was gonna say that's exactly what I appreciate about those movies.
I do too.
Like they take themselves seriously while still acknowledging what they are.
Yep.
Like they're self-aware, but they don't get too silly. Like I feel like things that happen are like crazy, like these wacky shit that happens, but it's done in such a serious manner that it works. It's like, okay,
Time travel.
we'll just accept it.
Time travel. That's the best.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
Nice. Bad Boys 4.
Oh, nice.
New
Nice.
franchise.
Yep. New franchise. I saw the first two. I might even have the first two downstairs.
I have the first two. Yeah.
I've never seen the third one.
Me neither.
I guess it did well enough to warrant a fourth one.
People like them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're good buddy cop films.
I think another that reminds, not that this, I don't know why it reminds me of it because I said franchise. Another franchise we should tackle at some point is the Fast and Furious.
Oh, I saw in the thrift store today. I saw Fast or Furious 7. I think it is.
That's actually one of the most important ones. That's the last Paul Walker one.
Oh boy, I passed it up. Maybe I don't remember what I have.
It's the one where it's the last one where his character, I should say, he was already dead. He started filming, and then they had to use like his brother, and they got to use like the CGI.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 7.
The thing I don't understand. Hey, Christopher, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Christopher.
The thing I don't understand, everybody's like, "Oh, they're just getting too crazy and far-fetched and this, that, and the other thing." Well, that's kind of what they're known for.
Exactly. I haven't seen all of them, but the ones I've seen, I've had a lot of fun with them. My son's a big fan of those. I mean, when the first one, I loved the first one, and as like a horror guy, like it wasn't really my genre of movie. It was one of those movies I just happened to catch one day. The time, and I was like, wow, I really like this. I liked the characters and stuff. I thought it was an interesting dynamic with Paul Walker being the cop and Vin Diesel being the bad guy. Then they got along so well, and he helps him at the end. And I just really like that dynamic. And then I ended up seeing 2 and 3 in theaters. And
really?
Then, yeah.
I didn't know you saw them in theater.
My son's a big fan of the franchise, and he's the same way. He's a lot like us, like we always say. He knows they're sort of tongue in cheek and they're silly, but he has fun with them.
Just entertain me.
Exactly.
That's all I'm asking. Just entertain me.
Thanks, Christopher. And Texas, I'm definitely curious about the Watchers. The previews, the trailers look pretty good for that.
Oh, very cool. Enjoy, Christopher.
But yeah, I think that's one. I know the last one is supposed to be coming out in 2026. It's already in production.
Wait a minute, the last one?
What's supposed to be the last one? Yeah.
What are we up to now? Are we up to
There's
10?
there's 11 of them right now.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll be 12.
I thought,
There's
well,
there's
I
there's
don't
there's,
have
fa- there's the last one that came out was Fast X, which is like part 10, but there's also Hobbs and
Right.
Shaw. Which, you know what I mean? So that's
Oh, okay, that's right. I forgot
yeah.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that flop?
I think so.
Yeah.
And that's what they were going to do more like like American Pie did, like American Pie Presents
Spin-offs.
Bandcamp, like they did
Yeah.
Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, and I think they
Yeah.
were going to do others with other characters, and then that one didn't do well, so they just went back to
Womp
doing the
womp.
regular.
Yep.
But you know, it's one of those things where, listen, I doubt we'd hate it. I mean, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. As long as it's entertaining, I'm in. I mean,
Yeah.
people crapped on the mechanic films, the one that Jason Statham did.
Mm.
I actually like both of them. And for a lot of the similar reasons is the reason why I liked that and the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they were upping the ante, of course, with the assassinations and stuff like that.
Mm.
To the point where there was a, I love this part. It's in the second Mechanic movie. There was a pole on the top of a building, and it was like real strong plexiglass. I guess it would have to be in order to be jetting out from a building, right? So he puts all these explosives underneath the freaking pole in order to kill someone to make them fall through it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Just stuff like that I just find is really, really cool.
What did you think?
Entertaining.
What did you think, Texas, of The Strangers Chapter 1? I have not heard great things about it.
I haven't either, but I've also heard realistic things about it. Like, it's a lot like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first one.
Yeah.
So a lot of people maybe prefer the second one, I guess. And I do prefer the second one to the first one, but I still like the first one a lot.
You know, I'll say this. When the first one came out, I loved it. I did. And
Yeah.
then I saw part 2, and I was like, wow, I really prefer part 2.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just,
me too.
and I still like the first one, obviously. Like, it's one of those movies. I mean, you and I watched it not long ago. And
Yeah.
as we're watching it, I'm like, okay, you know, I do like this a lot more than I remember.
Yeah.
I just think it's just one of those cases where the sequel for me, and I know for a lot of other people, just outdid it. It's just, it has what the first one does, but it does it better, and it does more, and the soundtrack, and
Oh,
just,
my God.
it's just amazing. And I think that's probably people's problem with this. Now is going back to what the original was like, and people are probably like, wait a minute.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
So this is what gets me. I remember when the second one came out, right? Everybody wanted to be the first to review it, this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
Everyone shit on it.
Yep, I remember that.
Everyone shit on it.
I waited to see it because everybody was shitting on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just, when I watched it, I was just like, wait a minute, what?
Yep.
What's going on here? Why are people trashing this film?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah. So, with hearing all of the negative reviews on Strangers Chapter 1, I'm really not taking it seriously because chances are I'll probably like it to a certain degree.
Listen, it's going to come out on Blu-ray and I'm going to buy it. I mean, it's just,
Texas Horror said I liked it.
yeah.
So,
it's,
you know.
it's as simple as that. When it comes out, I'm getting it.
Yeah. And it's going to turn into a franchise.
Yeah, there's 2 more now coming after this one, so
supposed to be.
Well, the second one's already done as far as I know.
That's saving grace because, like, you know, people have been shitting all over it.
Yeah. We're going to at least get one. We at least have a franchise because we have at least 4 now because 4 movies are filmed. So
unless they decide to shelve it, which doesn't seem like they do that much these days.
No, it's like they may as well just release, even if they release it on a streaming service or something, they'll do something with it. Unless you're the Tremors pilot, that's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see that. I don't know what the hell happened with that.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it would have been nice to see that. They tried to get him back for years to do that.
Yep. And then not only do they get him, they have him, Fred Ward, they have them all. for that.
Wait a minute, Dad, Fred Ward before he died, filmed that?
Yep. Yep.
Oh my God.
Wait, Fred
Hey,
Ward
Dan.
Hey, Dan.
from,
Tremors.
oh, well, I was thought you were talking about the guy from.
Also, Remo Williams. Well, you probably don't know who that is. Yeah, Remo
I
Williams.
think I was thinking of Fred Savage.
I like him as a character. He's another one, like we were talking about Michael Keaton. Fred Ward was just pleasant for me to watch. Anything that he was in, I was going to end up liking. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Texas, I don't think they announced it yet, but the first one took a while to come out here.
yeah, it did.
Because Scream Factory ended up getting the exclusive rights to the releasing here for. So, I mean, I definitely think it's coming. It just might be a while.
It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You haven't seen it yet, huh?
No, I haven't. I do. I want to say it. It's I think it's on streaming, isn't it?
It's probably on something now. It
Bad
was
word streaming.
really, really good sequel.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the other characters. So,
Yeah. Good sequel. We talked about before we went live. We talked about Beetlejuice. It's another sequel I'm really looking forward to.
yeah.
And like I said, listen, I'm as much as I'm not a huge fan the way other people were of the first two. I'm really looking forward to Maxine. The trailer won me over big
Yeah.
time. The time period, the fact that it's a slasher, the whole Night Ripper thing. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm definitely curious.
Yeah.
The way X left off.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for Maxine.
I like Ty West. I've liked the majority of the stuff he's done.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, Time Rider. Yep.
Yeah, Time Rider. Lynn Swan. Yep, I got the DVD for that. You know, I think it was Shout Factory, I guess, that released Time Rider. That thing is like so expensive now to get the Shout Factory Blu-ray of that. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I have that.
I don't think it was released on Scream Factory. It was released on the Shout Factory label.
Yeah, but I feel like it was part of a multi-pack that Shout Factory released too.
Really? Maybe.
Yeah. You know how they had like those random ones that would pop up at Walmart sometimes?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I found the Anchor Bay. I think it's the Anchor Bay DVD. So I bought that. May not be the Anchor Bay. But I have the DVD for it somewhere.
Terrifier 3. Am I looking forward to it? I would say I'm curious about Terrifier 3.
Me too.
Yeah, Terrifier 2, I wasn't a huge fan of that one, as people probably know by now. Lots of stuff I loved in it. Lots of stuff I did not love in it.
I'm just curious as to what direction they plan on taking this.
I'm happy to know he said it would be shorter and it wouldn't be as convoluted. Because that was my big issue with 2. I know it was yours as well. Like they started way too many stories to it was like he just crammed in too much into one movie.
Yeah.
Like Terrifier 2 could have been 2 separate movies and I think it would have worked better.
Yeah. Definitely.
He tried doing too much. I think 3, if he goes back to like the roots of, if he does a nice combination of Terrifier and Terrifier 2, I think it'll be fine.
Well, plus it's supposed to be a Christmas slasher.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm always up for that.
Like I feel like the first Terrifier, I loved it, but it was very basic, straightforward, nothing to it.
That's what I liked about it.
Me too. And Terrifier 2, he tried to do too much. So if he finds like a middle ground with Terrifier 3, I think it'll be fine.
I think so too.
Yeah, Dan, I'm definitely looking forward to Alien Romulus.
Yeah,
especially having just rewatched all of them for Franchise Frenzy. So now that they're all fresh on our minds again, it'll be good to see the new one.
Yeah, what's weird, you know what? Oddly enough, what I want to watch again is Alien versus Predator. I had a really good time with that when we watched.
Well, when we watched it, we said it's like it has that rewatchability.
It does. It has
Honestly,
a big.
I feel like both of those do. Like that one and
Yeah,
Requiem, like
too.
they're really good. Because again, they're just sort of popcorn flicks. They're just it's just I mean, that's all that they are. I mean, yeah, exactly, Texas. Rob, yeah, I know, Rob's been looking forward to Blood and Honey too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they release a steel book like they did with the first one, so I can get that to go with my first one.
I'll take whatever they put out at this point.
Oh, me too. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
If they do the same thing to have them side by side.
Yeah, that's true. I have to get some of those steelbook protectors for my steelbooks.
I feel like this is like slowly becoming to a conversation like Scream 2, where it's like sequels better than the first. Talking about Terrifier, we're talking about it's The Strangers, Blood and Honey 2. It's pretty funny because for me, I loved you guys know I loved Blood and Honey, the first movie.
Yeah, me too.
I think Blood and Honey 2 is better.
I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be fun. I'll take a 50 of them. I don't care. I'll watch them.
Oh, hell yeah. Keep releasing them. Keep releasing them.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Drives me nuts. We've talked about this before. It drives me nuts when people say, oh, this franchise should stop now. This is the last one. Somebody was saying it again the other day on Facebook because they announced that Scream 7 is going to be the start to a new Scream trilogy that's already planned now, which I'm super excited for it. Hell yeah. I want more Screams.
Me too.
That means we're going to get 9 Scream movies at the very least.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. You already have people like, oh, they should have stopped at 3 and this and that. It's like, why? If you don't want to watch them, don't watch
any
them.
of the other ones.
But how about the rest of us who want to see more of them? At least, like a franchise doesn't have to end because you're done watching it. That means it ends for you.
Exactly. That's the self-centeredness of people nowadays.
Yeah, I want to see that too, Texas Furiosa.
Yeah, me too. I'm very curious. Well, now even more so than ever after Dan's rant.
Yeah.
Because it, I enjoyed his rant. I don't like rants, but I like rants when they're done for the right reasons. So I really enjoyed Dan's rant.
Yeah.
It's his Halloween ends. I think it's kind of funny. You want to go through recommendations?
Yeah, what do you get?
All right.
I haven't watched a ton of new stuff since last time.
Godzilla -1, of course.
So that's gonna be mine too. Godzilla -1.
I loved it. I thought it was great. And with those kind of films, it's funny because films that people are so high on. Oh, I didn't even tell Dan I watched it. Films that people are so high on, sometimes I get my hopes up too much and I get disappointed. With this one, that was not the case. I freaking loved it. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was worried about building it up too much for you because you already saw how much everyone liked it. And now you hear me saying, this is fucking great, Yeah. So, but I'm glad you, I'm glad you felt that way. All right. Freaks. Not the original Todd Browning one. The Freaks with Emile Hirsch and Bruce Dern. First time watch for me. And I really liked it. And I look forward to watching it with you, Joe. Because
I picked it up a while ago. I just never watched it.
And it's been sitting upstairs for I don't know how long.
Yeah, it's been. It's literally on the top of a pile too, so I see it like every day as I walk by it. Just sitting there.
So I just put it on one day. I got bored and I put it on one day, and I was like, "Wow, this is kind of cool." And it's one of those movies where you're in the dark for most of the movie, and they reveal little things gradually. So if that's not your type of film, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people get frustrated with not being able to figure out what's going on.
Mm.
But I felt like the more they revealed, the more I was in, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty cool. And I'll just go ahead and say it. The Seduction. I told you about this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's Fernando De Leo, Italian romance crime movie. And I just was like, wow. Not many movies make me feel uncomfortable. That one did.
Mm.
Even though I knew the girl wasn't underage, she was 21 when they made the film. But as a father, you know, you're sitting there, you're just like, nah, you don't want to do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm sitting there fucking talking to myself in the movie. I'm like, please don't do that. And yeah, it made me feel quite uncomfortable. So it's called The Seduction or Les Seduction. Yeah. Seduction. So yeah, that's my 3. What about you, Joe? What else you got?
Well, Godzilla -1 is obviously one of mine. Feel the same way, like you said. You know, I feel like it lived up to the hype for me.
Oh yeah.
I watched obviously I watched Godzilla -1, and then I watched Shin Godzilla on the same day. And you know, prior to Godzilla -1, you know, people raved about Shin Godzilla. You know, this is the best Godzilla movie since the original. This and that, blah 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 blah. And I know part of it contributes to the fact that I did watch -1 before I watched Shin Godzilla, but I watched -1 and I was like, okay, I understand why everybody loves this. This is awesome. I watched Shin Godzilla and I was like, meh, it's good, but it's like, you know, I felt like that one was definitely overhyped. I mean,
yeah, definitely overhyped. I liked it.
Yeah, I like it too. It's just like I said, way too much chatting.
Yeah.
So much dialogue.
Yeah. It took a different route.
Yeah.
And I could have done without that.
But I mean, other than that, I really haven't watched a lot of new stuff. But I do have a couple recommendations of movies that I've watched fairly recently that may or may not be coming up at some point on my channel. And one of them is Pie Wacket.
Ha! You watched that?
I did.
What the hell's going on? Uh-oh, I may lose you, Joe.
Why?
My internet's doing something weird. Anyway, so you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked it too.
Pie Wacket I thought was great. I thought that was actually like a genuinely creepy movie.
Yes.
It's really, really effective. Awesome movie.
Can I ask you a question though before you go on about that?
What?
Did you expect more from that?
Actually, no.
Really? I mean, I really liked it, but when I remember
I kind of knew a little bit about it going into it. I think that's why.
Okay.
So, if anything, I think I got a little bit more than I expected because of what I had read about it.
Interesting.
But the other movie that I really want to recommend, again, it may or may not show up at some point on my channel, Satanic with Sarah Hyland.
Is that the one that I watched that I told you about?
I think you saw it. I'm not sure.
The one from Modern Family.
Yeah.
It was good, wasn't it?
That movie to me is like, how can I explain this? I look at it as the best Hellraiser sequel that's not actually a Hellraiser sequel.
Oh, wow. I guess I better go back and rewatch
it. As creepy as Pie Wacket was, I think Satanic was like genuinely fucking scary. And I don't say that about a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Like that movie kind of creeped me out. Like especially the ending and then like everything that comes to pass at the end. It's just you know, I'm one of those people when I watch movies, I try to put myself in the character's position. Like, oh, you know, what if I was in this?
Too.
And thinking about stuff that happens in that movie and how some of them literally did nothing wrong, but they find themselves in this really terrifying predicament. It was pretty chilling, and I was really, really impressed with that movie. Have not stopped thinking about it since I saw it. I cannot wait to watch it again. Yeah, I loved it. I really did.
I'll watch it with you.
That one,
let me know.
That one really impressed me.
Yeah.
That one really, really impressed me. So much so that I had the DVD. I watched the DVD. The movie ended, and I ordered the Blu-ray immediately on Amazon. In fairness, though,
And you called me an asshole for
in
this?
fairness, I looked on Amazon to see the price of it, and it was literally on sale for like $4 change, the Blu-ray.
Oh,
So
that's
I was
not
like,
bad at all.
okay, I'm gonna get this right now.
That's the way I felt about Silent Night, Deadly Night.
And
I was like,
it was like
$3.
it was like next day arrival on top of it. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this.
Nice. Just let me know. I'll watch it with you because I'm curious now. I remember it a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, it genuinely felt like a Hellraiser sequel. And if it were, it would have been like one of my favorite Hellraiser sequels.
Nice. Nice. Well, you want to get into things here?
Yeah, so tonight, guys, we're going to talk about some of our favorite positive spin movies that we've done over the last few years. Our 91st positive spin will be going up at midnight tonight.
Damn.
So we've done a lot so far.
I gotta remember what it is.
But I know what it is. It's a hated sequel of a franchise we did for Franchise Frenzy. That you end up watching a second time, and I had to send you a second copy because the first one was messed up a little bit.
Oh. Huh.
You know what it is. Come on.
I probably do. It's just not ringing a bell. I don't know. Oh. No, that's not it.
Okay.
All right. Wait a minute.
Anyway, before we get to that, though, we want to talk about just things in general, negativity in general, people being hateful, people being cruel, people being mean.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Definitely looking for some input from you guys in the chat. Your thoughts on things. You know, I get a lot of negative comments on videos. I just delete them. I'm not going to react to them because, it's not why I do this. I mean, this is supposed to be a fun hobby. This is something I enjoy doing. It's, I love meeting people. I love making friends on here. I love talking about movies. Love showing physical media. Again, just having fun doing this. Like, this isn't something that I need to do. It's not an obligation. It's not a job. It's something that I do for fun. The stuff that gets in the way is when people feel the need to comment negative things for no reason whatsoever. And I've said in the past, I'm not going to acknowledge these things. I'm just going to delete the comment because it's not worth it to me. I'm not going to fight with somebody on YouTube. It's just not going to happen. But it does leave you wondering, like, why do people say the things that they do? Why do people feel the need to do this? I mean, are people that unhappy in their own lives? And, it's the common thing. People say, oh, they're just unhappy with themselves. And, yeah, we can all say that. But what really is happening here?
Yeah.
Like, why do people go like, I can't ever imagine going on someone's video I don't know, someone's video that I do know for that matter, and saying bad things. Like, if I don't like somebody or I don't like a video, I'm just not going to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, it's that simple. I'm not going to go on and insult the person because of their opinion. I'm not going to go on and insult the person because of their voice, because I don't like the way they filmed the video, because I don't like the DVD that they showed, because I don't like the camera quality or whatever it might be. Like, and these are just random examples. This isn't stuff that I've necessarily gotten comments about, but some of these things I have. Oh, you talk too slow. Oh, you talk too fast. Oh, you pronounce this weird. Oh, you like different. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that that's the way that I talk. I mean, like, it's one of those things where I try to speak clearly in my videos so that way people can understand what I'm saying. Because as an Italian, I tend to talk fast and I tend to say things sometimes that people, what did he just say? Or, I pronounce things in a certain way just because of the way that I speak on a normal basis.
Yeah.
My normal voice more or less comes out in these streams more than it does in my actual videos, because in my actual videos, I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm trying to speak clearly. And I don't want to have to keep making edits and refilming things, whereas these streams are just live and I'm just talking, having fun and doing it. In my videos, I want to make myself clear. I want to be clear enough where people can understand what I'm saying. But you'll have people who comment and say, "Why do you talk like that?" Somebody asked me if I was autistic, and it's like I laughed. It's like, really? Like, do I really sound autistic? Because I don't think that I do. I've worked with many autistic people in the medical field, and I don't think that I sound like I'm autistic. But it's funny to me. Like, this is what these people think when they're watching these videos, and the fact that they feel they need to comment it. Like, do you think I'm
Let
going to
me,
read this and think what?
go.
Yeah,
No,
what were
go
you
ahead.
gonna what were you gonna say?
I don't want people to think that it's just lately that we've been getting these comments, because we've been getting them for years.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But lately it's been a lot. Like, I've literally had Joe, message me and say, I just deleted 3 more comments off of this video. I just deleted 2 more comments. And this is like in the last week. And it's had a very, it's been kind of shitty, because it's kind of taken us away from what we enjoy doing. Joe and I haven't really watched anything lately other than the basketball game last night. And it's just like it's like it makes you not want to enjoy doing what you used to enjoy doing. You're getting criticized for every little thing, and
if you were a singer and you're on stage and everybody's booing you and heckling you and saying you suck or whatever, there's gonna become a certain point where you don't want to get on stage anymore. It's just
exactly.
human. It's basic human nature to not want to continually take that sort of criticism when you're not really asking for it. Like, again, like this isn't
Yeah.
like a job for us. We're not getting graded here. Like, we're doing
And
this for
I think
fun.
actually we both have thick skin.
Oh, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. It's not that
be thick-skinned.
it's not that I'm like it's not that I'm bugged by the specific comments.
Yeah.
I'm bugged by the fact that people do this to anybody, not just us, because
Yeah.
if they're doing it to us and we're able to take it, like you said, this happens to us all the time.
Yeah.
I just delete the comments and move on. Believe me, I'm the number one believer in free speech. People can say whatever they want, but I also don't have to let that negativity
Yeah. You
be
don't have
there
to
on my
entertain
video.
it.
If they want to go and film their own video and say something, by all means, go for it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit there and acknowledge it on my video when I'm just trying to do a positive thing.
Exactly.
And it's just random things. I mean, it makes you wonder, like, if it's happening to us, clearly it's happening to other people. And
Yeah.
we know of people who have literally stopped making videos and left YouTube because of nasty comments. And it sucks. I mean, I wouldn't do that because, like you said, we have thicker skin, and I'm not going to let somebody else ruin my hobby. But at the same time, that's what this is. This is supposed to be fun. So what is it about people that makes them feel so bold and so brave and so confident that they can come on and say these things? Like, is it because they're hiding behind a computer screen? Like, what is it? Like, would somebody come up to us and actually say this in person?
I would say no.
I doubt it. Exactly.
There are, I mean, not that we're big and bad or anything like that. That's not the case, but a lot of people are non-confrontational. Me being one of those types of people, I don't like confrontation. I never did. So I try my best to stay away from that. You're probably the same way from what I know of you. And I think they get bold mostly because, like you said, they hide behind the computer screen and they can say whatever they want to say to somebody and they don't have to suffer any kind of repercussions.
Yeah, and I think it bugs me because I don't know I don't want to sound like an asshole. I don't want to sound like I'm patting myself on the back, but like I feel that I'm a genuinely good person. Like, I'm one of those people who I try to see the best in people, even if it's somebody who's an asshole to me. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Oh, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe whatever it is. I'm just one of those people in real life that's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm the type of person who will run up past somebody because I see like it's an older couple and I want to grab the door for them so I can hold the door open for them.
Yeah.
Or I'll see somebody like struggling carrying groceries and I'll be like, hey, do you need a hand bringing these to your whatever, like random little things like this. And again, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but it's just the way my mind works. So I can't understand ever being somebody who does the opposite. and who's literally goes out of their way to be mean to somebody. Like, you know,
that's the
I'm
thing.
just one of those people. Like, I'm always like looking out for other. Like, not long ago, I was dropping my son off at work, and he works at a Red Robin, and there's like a mall nearby. And I'm driving through the parking lot to leave, and I see this lady standing in the middle of the parking lot with like her hand on her head, like kind of looking down at the ground. And I'm literally pulling out of the parking lot. As I'm ready to like get on the highway over there, I was like, I need to go back because what if there's something wrong with her? Like, she's in the middle of the parking lot. She's looking down at the ground. I'm like, what if there's like a medical emergency? And this is just how my mind works. And I literally turned around, went back into the lot to make sure she was okay. And again, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but it's just like, that's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I have people commenting on my friggin' videos, insulting me who don't even know me. And it's like, like, of all people, like, come on, you know, like, it's just, you know, there's got to be good karma out there too. And I
Yeah.
believe that there is. It's just unfortunate that there are people out there that are so friggin' negative and just so mean overall. And it bugs the hell out of me sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
again, not for me specifically, but it bugs me in a general sense that there are people who are out there and just do this to people that they don't even know. And like, what is it? What allows this behavior? Why does this I feel like it's gotten worse over the years. I feel like people just go out of their way to do these things,
Yeah.
and I don't get it. I really don't.
Which is kind of one of the reasons why we did the stream tonight, the positive stream, to talk about positive spin and everything like that, but kind of to reiterate why we started doing positive spin in the first place.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah. Thank you, dude. You know, there's a lot of people out there who go on rants, and a lot of them do it for views. You know, we've broken down all that kind of stuff where people tend to say the same thing as other people, and they don't do their homework, and they do things for views and stuff like that, which in a way, I guess if you're making money off of it, I guess I understand it to a certain degree, but I think a lot of people don't understand the negativity that they're putting out there.
And I want to clarify,
feed off of that negativity.
Exactly. And I want to clarify, it's not even just based on review. It's not even just the negative opinions that people have posted comments. Like, there was like my alternate cuts video. It's not a positive spin or anything like that. I'm not giving a review of Hellraiser Bloodline. I'm literally explaining the differences from that original work print. And that's it. Like, I'm not giving an opinion or anything like that. I'm literally just saying what the differences are. And I got negative comments on that. I got negative comments on like the controversial review for Faces of Death or whatever. You know, so it's not even always just like, oh, you shouldn't like this because this movie sucks. I mean, it's that sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's literally just people being mean for the sake of being mean. Like, oh, why do you film your videos this way? Well, because it's my fucking channel and that's what I want to do. I mean, it's like, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not asking you for your advice on how I should film a video. If you don't like my style, all the power to you. I'm not telling you have to watch it. Go watch someone else's video then. But I don't need you telling me how I should film my video.
Hey,
you know,
FD, sorry about that, Joe.
Hey, FD 180. Like, I've always made it clear, my channel is about my collection. Like, that's what I've done from the beginning. It's my hand showing a DVD, a Blu-ray, a VHS, and me talking about it. That's it. I've never said that I was going to do anything differently. I don't plan to. But that's what I like to do. It's just a hobby for me. If people like it, awesome. If they don't, plenty of other channels to watch.
You got that right.
I wouldn't go on somebody's channel and say, oh my God, I don't like how you film your videos. Okay. I mean, I just wouldn't watch it if that's how I felt. I mean, that's as simple as that.
Right.
It's the same as me not filming a negative review for a movie that I don't like, because why bother?
Yeah.
Like, why? I just don't feel the need to insult anything or anyone. It's not in my nature. Believe me, I can argue with the best of them, but I'm saying at the end of the day, I'd rather see the best in people.
Yeah. A lot of times if there's a negative review or somebody that goes off and insults things and people and stuff like that, I normally just turn it. I don't even like to entertain that kind of stuff anymore. Sometimes I would watch rants just to see you know, the whole theory that people copy off of everyone else, and that's a lot of the times why I would entertain these rants. But even that got old after a while, and it's just amazing to me. I look at the comments and how many people feed into this.
They do. They love it.
Don't get it.
They love
I
it.
just don't get it. I don't understand.
Exactly, Rob.
Everybody
That's really
makes
what it comes.
mistakes.
Like Rob said, some people just want to see the world burn. That's how it feels sometimes. It's like, what are you gaining out of being mean to other people?
Exactly.
Listen, behind closed doors, and you know, me and you, we'll joke about things that other people would probably find offensive. But it's just, I admittedly do that. I'm one of those people where I don't have like a line when it comes to joking. I think
Yeah.
comedy is that's just how it is. I prefer old style of comedy where nothing's off limits. I have thick skin with that. I don't get offended by that sort of thing. You want to make fun of Italians, and you want to make fun of straight white males, whatever it might be that has to do with my demographic, go for it. I don't care because it's joking. I'm not
But you're not
offended by
doing it to be mean spirited.
exactly.
That's the
I'm
point.
not offended by stuff like that. But it's like when somebody goes out of their way to specifically be mean to somebody, that's where it's like, why are you doing this? Like it's just not okay. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
Hobbs. I got told that before when somebody said that about, oh, you're using a shaky camera. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me get my freaking tripod out to to make you feel better. This one person who watched my
Yeah.
video one fucking time. Let me do it all differently for you.
Yep.
Like, you know,
That, and see, that's it. That's it. If you don't like it, sometimes saying nothing, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
I've said this
Where
how
did
many
the
times?
golden rule get lost
Exactly.
somewhere?
Exactly. I've said this so many times. Like, if I wanted to make like high production videos, I have the capability of doing that. I know how to do all that stuff. I'm pretty good, you know, with technology, and I'm great at that stuff. But I literally choose to do my videos the way that I do them because I like the element of it just being like a regular person talking about a movie. That's what I like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have no problem with people's opinions. If they don't like the movie, that's fine. Um, the only thing I do ask, and you know, most people give it to you, is why they don't like it, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. I love listening to other people's rankings because they're different. I like all that kind of stuff. And if I have the favorite movie of all time and you say it's a piece of garbage, or if you say you don't like it, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But when they start getting nasty, that's kind of where I draw the line.
Like I said, there's a difference too.
Yeah.
Again, it's not even always about movie opinions. It's literally personal things. Like,
Yeah.
again, oh, why do you film your videos this way? Because that's what I want to do. I mean, like, why do you comment this way? I mean, you know, it's just it just doesn't make any sense. And like I said, I just I like that style. There are millions of channels out there that do the same thing. Oh, here's a production still. Here's a clip from the movie. Here's me sitting in front of a green screen. Here's me in a darkly lit room with different colored lights and movie posters. We can all do that. That's great. But you know what? People like this is why I started watching your channel, Jason, years ago, because I was like, hey, this is a guy like me who's just sitting in his house, showing a copy of his DVD or his Blu-ray, saying how he feels about the movie.
Yeah.
To me, that's a genuine opinion, as opposed to somebody who has all this production value. And how the hell do I know if they're bullshitting or not? Like,
Yeah.
are they a paid promoter? Are they being too critical because they want to get views? Like, I much rather watch somebody's opinion who looks like a normal, you know, guy or girl just giving their opinion on a movie, because to me, it's like I can relate more to somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is for me. It's a hobby. It's a way to meet other genuine people and try to understand why they feel the way they do about certain movies. So when people just give, oh, this movie's dog shit. Okay, well, why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Texas, it's just the way that I choose to do it. It's how I've always done it. And I've built up loyal subscribers by doing it that way. I mean,
Yeah.
I care more about the people who actually enjoy my videos and support me than I do about someone who's going to watch my video once and critique it.
Yeah.
But that's not, I don't care. Like, that's like, I appreciate the view you just gave me in the comment, but if you don't like my channel, well, there's plenty others to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change how I do things because, like I said, it's not like it's a job where I need to improve. Like, I don't need to prove my talents to anybody. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to have fun and do it the most convenient way possible for me. So if that means pulling out my phone, filming a 5-minute video of me talking about a movie I just watched, well, that's how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to watch it, awesome. If they don't, great for them, you know? But I don't need someone, you know, critiquing, oh, well, why do you use that camera? Why do you use this background? Why are you only showing the DVD and not the Blu-ray? And these are comments that I've gotten.
Yeah.
How come you're only showing the DVD? How come you don't show the Blu-ray? I don't know, because it was the most readily accessible in my collection of 30,000 movies. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's just, it is what it is. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I've showed multiple copies of things on VHS and Blu-ray and 4K and DVD, but you just happen to catch the one video where I show a DVD that you don't like.
Yeah. Oh, the ones that burn us up the most is people saying negative stuff on Positive Spin, because it's the exact opposite of what we've been trying to do.
Well, I got the perfect example. So we did Seed of Chucky a couple weeks ago. Somebody commented on my video before they had enough time to even watch the whole video because of when the comment went up.
I don't even think they watched any of it.
They didn't, because they, like I said, say it was like a 5-minute video. They commented when the video had been up for like a minute. So
Yeah.
they didn't watch the video. They commented, I'm calling it. He doesn't like the movie because of how gay it is. Remember this? This was the comment on my video of Seed of Chucky.
Yeah,
Now,
because I got all fired up about that.
Now, number one, where in the video do I really say anything about not liking it? It's a positive spin, so I'm talking about what I do like about the movie.
Yep.
So right away, you didn't watch it. You have no idea what positive spin is. You didn't care to watch the video. And secondly, to just make an accusation like that. This is how so many people, even public figures, end up in like a bad spotlight because one person accuses them of one thing, and then suddenly everybody jumps on board thinking it's true.
Yep.
So this one person comment basically accused me of not liking Seed of Chucky because the movie is quote unquote too gay. This was their exact words.
Yep.
And this person said, I'm calling it. He doesn't like it because the movie's too gay.
And actually, nowhere in the film or nowhere in your video do you actually mention anything about that at all.
I don't even hint at it. Like, there's nothing even about that in the video. So it's like, it just goes to show you these people just don't care.
Yeah, they're just hateful. I can't understand being that miserable to just kind of take it out on everyone. So,
like, there are people on YouTube that I can say I genuinely don't like now because of things that they've done to me and other people that I really like here on YouTube.
Yeah.
But you know what I do? I don't watch their videos.
Exactly.
I don't go on their video. I don't even put a thumbs down in their videos. I don't go on their videos and comment nasty things. I literally don't even click on their videos. That's it. That's it.
It's not really that hard.
And this is people that this is people that I have reason. And believe me, it takes a lot for me not to like somebody. And these are people that I have reason not to like, and I just ignore them. But to go on somebody's video I don't even know and comment negative things, like, do you really have? You really need a life to be able to have that much free time in your hands.
Yeah, that's what my daughter said when I was talking to her about this. She said they have way too much time to do stuff like that. It's like, what? It's so much. It takes so much energy to be mean.
I can barely keep up with watching videos of people that I want to support.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I watch so many videos of channels that I love, and I don't always get to comment because I'm watching them like on my TV, or I'm listening to them while I'm doing other things on my phone or whatever it might be. And then sometimes I just don't have the chance to go back and comment. But I make sure that I watch and hit a thumbs up to support them. And I don't have enough time to watch all the videos that I want to watch. So to go on videos just to leave nasty comments,
Yeah.
like what is going on?
100%, Jason Myers. 100%. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Jason. Yeah, I appreciate. I mean, I definitely appreciate it, and I don't let them bring me down per se. It's like I said, it's more I look at them like it sucks that they do this to other people too, because other people aren't as thick-skinned as we are.
Yeah.
And again, we know people who literally stopped making videos because of the negativity on YouTube. I mean, I know plenty of people who left years ago because of the negativity on YouTube, and it's only gotten worse since then. So
a lot worse.
It's just it's a shame.
And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this. Is it seems like it's been an overabundance of it lately. Every time you turn on the TV, it's something else. People, this person hating this person, or and a lot of things we don't talk about on our streams and all, like politics and religion and all that kind of stuff. But there's so many things out there to hate someone else. It just seems like it's.
And people turn. It's funny because people do all these hateful things, right? But then they turn even things that aren't hateful into hateful things. Like if someone doesn't have the same view on something, oh, you're this kind of phobic, or you're this kind of phobic, or you're hateful because of this, or you're not inclusive because of that, whatever it might be. Everybody gets accused of something if they don't agree with something. But meanwhile, these same people that are so preachy about accepting everyone are the same ones who are so hateful to those who don't agree with them.
Yep. 100%.
Like, I want to open up a small can of worms here, just briefly. Like, we all know it's Pride Month. Cool, whatever. It is what it is. I was in a Facebook group the other day, like it was like a VHS group, and there's one guy just kept posting over and over, and I mean, when I say at least 30 times, at least 30 posts about Pride Month. Okay. One guy comments underneath and says, "Hey, listen, it's cool that you support and all. Like, yeah, like do what you got to do what you love, all this. I have no problem with it. But isn't this a little excessive? Like, can we go back to talking about VHS since the VHS group?" And everybody just started tearing this guy a new ass. Like, how dare you say that? Blah, 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 going on and on and on. And the guy is like, "Hey, listen, I said nothing wrong here. Like, I have no problem with it. Like, I'm an ally, I'm a supporter, whatever, all this stuff they said." He's like, "I'm just saying, can we get back to talking about like what the group is for?"
Exactly.
Like, there are plenty of other platforms to talk about what you're talking about. Can we go back to this other stuff? And they just kept going on and on and on. So then the guy mentioned something about religion. He's like, "Hey, listen," "I'm not even like preaching it." He just says something like about being like a religious family man. And everybody was like, "Oh, you can't talk about that in here." And the guy's like, "Are you serious? Like, so hold on. Like, we can have 30 posts from the same person about Pride Month, but I can't have a slight mention of me being a religious family man." And it just, listen, I'm not gay. I'm a happily married straight man, and I'm also not really a religious person either. But if one is okay, then the other should be as well. Either you can talk about everything or you can talk about nothing. And I'm a firm believer you should be able to talk about everything. The problem I have is when like free speech is free speech. Either it's free speech for all or it's free speech for nobody. So if one person has the freedom to say whatever they want, then someone else should have the freedom to say whatever they want, whether or not everybody agrees. That's just how it is. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, FD 180. My son's godfather is gay. I've known him since I was 4 years old. One of my best friends in the world. He's like family to me. So that's why I comment on like my Seed of Chucky video that I just mentioned. It's almost is a little insulting to me because it's like, how dare you accuse me of something when that's not even how I feel. Like, I've said nothing for you to feel that way, to give you that impression. So to comment under a video where other people can see that comment and then think that's exactly what it is, that's why people shouldn't say things like that, because that's what causes hate. That's what causes this divisiveness that we have.
Yep. And there's no ramifications. That's why they do it.
Yeah, it is. And FD 180, I'm glad you said that about finding it excessive, because again, I'm not trying to be controversial here. I'm all for people doing whatever they want to do. I'm supportive of every lifestyle. People can do whatever they want. It's fine. The issue I have with anything, whether it be Pride Month or whether it be religion or no matter what it is, whether it be veganism, is when people get excessive about it. Like, I don't run through the mall screaming, I'm Italian and I'm a straight white man and I'm this and that, and expect everybody to like say, oh, well, thank you're so brave, you're so you're so courageous for saying that. It is, who cares? I mean, just be who you want to be, love who you are, and that's it. As long as people aren't hateful to you, as long as people aren't being mean to you, like, I mean, I would stick up for anybody. If I saw somebody being hateful to somebody else in public, I'm the type of person who stands up for that person who's being bullied or being insulted. It's just how I am, no matter who they are, and no matter what reason they're being treated that way. I don't think anybody should be treated poorly. At the same time, I don't think people should feel they should be on a pedestal and scream from the from the skies, "Hey, you need to praise me because I'm different." We're all
Yeah.
different in our own ways. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. If we're all unique, then why are we being put into these different subcategories? Like, if equality is about us all being equal and unique in our own ways, so there shouldn't be these different, well, you can only be part of this demographic because you feel this way. And you can only be part of this demographic because you're part of, the LGBTQ community. Everybody gets like separated into different categories.
Yeah.
That's literal segregation. I mean, that's not equality. And I just think it adds to the hatefulness that we're seeing in this country and in this world, and it's a shame. But
And they cause comments like that.
yeah, and that's exactly it. And then, like I said, I wasn't trying to get on this topic specifically, but it does kind of it goes in hand with these things,
Well,
because these are the
that
kind of
comment
comments
pissed me
that,
off too.
yeah,
So
and people make accusations based on things. Like I said, that Seed of Chucky comment.
yeah.
And I've gotten other comments on videos. Oh, you probably don't like it because of this or whatever. Look, no, that's not it at all.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah, it's just,
To make an accusation like that without watching the video or anything like that is just yeah.
like, people will jump to these conclusions, and that's not fair either.
It's a freaking positive spin. Why would you not like it? Yeah, it's just yeah. I was fired up when you told me about that comment. I was really fired up. But because that's literally the opposite of what we were trying to do. So
Sometimes I don't have. Sometimes people. I'm not even gonna say I don't have the best way of wording things, because sometimes I feel like I word things properly, but people just don't take them the right way because people like to see things in their own point of view. But like Pride Month, for example. I mean, no matter what month it is, I don't like months in general. Like, why do we need months for certain demographics of people? No matter who they are. I don't care if it was Italian Heritage Month. As a proud Italian man, even that would be like, do we really need this? Because
yeah.
if we're all supposed to be equal, if we're all equal human beings, why do we need months for special demographics? It just never made sense to me, and it never will.
Yep.
And it's when people get excessive about things that make it even worse. It's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, as a perfect example, football teams right now. There are like eight or nine football teams that still haven't, get this, that still haven't changed their logo on like their social media to a pride logo. Okay. So those 8 teams are being criticized for being non-allies of the LGBT community because they haven't changed their logo yet. Like, why is it an obligation now? I mean, think about it. What if there was like an all Christian month, like all religion, like you have, like, I mean, people say, oh well, there's Christmas in December, okay, but not everybody celebrates Christmas, do they? They don't.
Yeah.
And God forbid every company had something to do with like a Christmas logo, because they would get sued, because people would be like, well, I'm not Christian, I'm Jewish or whatever, so now you can't have a Christmas tree in your friggin' store. You can't say Merry Christmas anymore because God forbid someone doesn't believe in Christmas. But when it comes to other months, if you don't play along, you're accused of being hateful. So Do you get my point? It's like I'm saying it's either all or nothing.
Yeah. And that's the case too. There's a huge double standard
Yeah.
in the world
A
right
double,
now.
triple, quadruple
Yeah.
state. I mean, this because again, it's like there's certain month. I mean, there's a month for everything, okay? but can you do this for me, okay? And I'm going to ask you to do it. I'm just going to, after everybody in the chat, just think to yourselves, okay? There are literally months for everything. But I bet if I ask you to think of what months you can think of that you know for a fact which months are which, I bet you can think of two. I'm not even going to say what they are. One of them is this month. We already mentioned it, Pride Month, because Pride Month comes in June. And believe me, every company, every commercial, everything's going to make sure that you know it's Pride Month. But guess what? There are months every other month of the year. I bet you don't know what the month of July is for. I bet you know what the August is. I bet you don't know what September is.
I know what February is, I think.
February, that's the other one.
No, it was something different. Heart awareness, Women's Heart Awareness Month. I think it's February. Is that February or is that October?
You don't even know.
I think it's February. Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I'm just saying, it's like, this is it ties into what we're talking about, because unfortunately all this divisiveness is what makes people hateful, and then they
Yes.
become hateful when they don't even have to be, because they start accusing others of things that aren't even true. And if we didn't have all of these celebrations that are unnecessary, like, why can't people just be celebrated every day? Just be happy to be alive, just be happy to be living your best life. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need all of this, because then it unfortunately does make other people bitter or frustrated because of it's too excessive, or because it's too in their face, or because maybe they don't agree, which is also fine, because not everybody has to agree with me either. We're all going to have different opinions on things. We're all going to have different views. That's what makes us unique. The problem is when somebody does have a different view, they get accused of being hateful, and they get accused of being something that they're not all the time. Don't get me wrong, there are always going to be bad people. But I don't view people based on what they are, based on how they act. So
there's been an overabundance of
yeah,
hatefulness lately. It's discouraging. It is. It's been very discouraging.
I just think, I've always been, I've said this before too, I was always brought up, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion. But I've always been one of those people who likes to talk about those things, because I feel like this is why people have issues. I think things need to be talked about in a respectful, mature manner, because if people
That's because they can't do it.
well, that's the problem. Exactly.
You can't even tell people who you're voting for anymore without either getting yelled at or
that's
threatened.
such a problem too, because people only get knowledge on the person they're voting for, as opposed to trying to see, well, what does the other candidate have to offer? Maybe I'm missing something. Because people refuse to have these conversations, they get so stuck in their own minds, and they get so stuck in their own view, that not only do they refuse to see other person's views, but now they learn to hate those other views, even though they might not have a really good reason for hating those views. So
Yep.
just because someone has a different view doesn't mean that it's necessarily a hateful view toward yours. I mean, part of my job years ago was to know all different types of religion, not to get into specifics of my job title, but I like literally, even in college, I had to learn about different religions, because it was something that came into play with my job, with different patients at hospitals and health centers and stuff, because if people had
I
different
see that
beliefs,
now.
if people had different beliefs, I had to be the person to allow them to practice those beliefs in that setting.
Yep. Yep.
So I needed to make sure I knew the ins and outs of all different kinds of religion. Even if I didn't personally believe in that religion, I still had to be an advocate for that religion for that specific person. So for me, having these conversations was important, to know why they do certain things. Why do you like this? And why does this done? What's the
Yeah.
reason for this? And,
I agree.
and I think that's important. And I do the same thing, like with politics. People, like, if people have a liberal point of view, people are like, oh, it's because you watch CNN. People have a conservative point of view, it's because you watch Fox News. Well, you know what I do? I watch all of them because that way I can get all of the point of views and then I can make my own decision. The problem is when people have like a certain, like if people have a liberal mindset, they only want to see what CNN because that CNN is telling them exactly what they want to see. If people have a simply a conservative mindset and they only watch Fox News or Newsmax, it's because they only want to hear what they want to hear. But the best way to make the right decision is to watch all of it and then to determine yourself, what do I believe as a person? Not what the news is telling me to believe, not what the not what I'm seeing on the news on one channel, but what can I make from putting all of these pieces together? And without having these conversations, we end up where we are now. I mean, like you said, God forbid you tell people who you're voting for. That's it.
It never used to be like that either, which is crazy.
See, again, FD 180. I absolutely appreciate what you're saying because that's how I feel about it. And again, as someone who isn't gay but who has a lot of love for people that I know that are, like I said, I have a best friend that has been all his life. I almost feels like a detriment to the community sometimes because it's like I feel like there was a time when it was like if you're gay, straight, bisexual, whatever that is, people didn't want to be defined by that because they were more than just that. Now it's like there are so many people who I feel like if you don't see them as that, you're somehow hateful for not acknowledging that about them. But I grew up in a time when it was almost insulting to do that because that was their personal business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't go around asking someone, "Hey, are you gay? Hey, are you bisexual? Hey, it's just because who cares? It's not your business."
That's how you get to know someone. You find out more about them.
Yeah.
Like you and I, when we talk a lot about things, a lot
Thank
of it
you,
isn't
Jay.
even horror.
Yeah.
We talk about life, we talk about politics, we talk about our families, stuff like that. That's how you get to know someone.
And because you and I can with each other because we know we can talk about anything.
Exactly.
And like the problem is people just and
They're
whether
not
we
like,
agree on things or not, it's just we're mature enough to have these conversations. And that's what I wish people could have. People need to have
yeah.
more of these conversations.
You have to watch everything you say when you film a video so that you don't offend people, and then people shit on you anyway.
Yep.
Because they make nasty comments. So it's like whatever, It's
Yeah, I'm
how
sure.
it is.
I'm sure. FD. I mean, that's exactly how I see it. Like I said, from the outside looking in, to me, it would seem like it would be almost a detriment. Like I wouldn't want to see somebody just see me as, oh, you're a. I mean, and you know what? It happens in this society. Let's be honest. There's almost like now it's starting to become like an insult to say that like the term straight white male is almost become an insult now. Like if you say something in like social media and it goes against the grain, it's like, oh, you're only saying that because you're a privileged white male or whatever it is. It's like I don't want to be seen as just as a straight white male. Like I'm more than a straight white male. You know what I mean? I'm Italian. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a friend. I'm so much more than straight white male. Like
That's the problem. People don't take the time
why
to
are
get
we
to know
putting ourselves
people.
in these categories? You know?
They make those snap judgments.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Brad. I know you like the phone calls. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think it all does play a role in how people are so hateful today. Now, I almost feel like, and again, here I am giving people the benefit of the doubt. Even these people who have insulted me personally on comments, I think to myself, well, maybe it's because they just have their defenses up because they're so used to how everybody is now in society. Like some people's defense mechanism is to jump on the offense before they can be insulted themselves.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
they're so used to how everybody else is, they don't know that I'm not that type of person. So they're just assuming that I am like a lot of other people are, and they're just going to insult me first. But it's like, get to know somebody because this hateful stuff is just it's unnecessary, and it's just causing so much division between everybody.
Yeah. Not to mention, it makes you not want to interact at all.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like that.
No, it shouldn't.
Yep, exactly, Jason.
Yeah. Yeah. What else is on the docket for tonight?
Well, we wanted to go through some of our favorite positive spins.
Ah, yes. Indeed.
So again, our 91st positive spin will be going up at midnight. We've been doing
And I
this
know
for
what it is now, by the way.
what?
I know what it is now.
Yeah.
I should have gotten the hint when you told me that you had to send me another copy, but I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so we'll be going on 2 years pretty soon of positive spin, which is crazy. I feel like we just started it.
I know.
Our very first positive spin ever was the Fog remake
Yeah.
because of how much people hated that movie. And then we've been doing it almost every Saturday since.
Yeah. Every once in a while, we'll give it a break if we're doing like 12 Days of Christmas or, something else that comes in line with it. God damn it. I'm looking for my folder now, but I can't seem to find it.
I'm just looking at the playlist.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at for my playlist. I can't even find it. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Wait a minute. I have 97 videos.
Because you have them already scheduled.
Yeah. And plus, we did the special announcements, which counts. And, of course, my Halloween 2, part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
Is there any particular one you want to start with, Joe?
I mean, we'll just kind of jump around here. One that I've been thinking about forever, that's one of my favorites that we've done. I mean, all right, let's start with Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is going to be one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
And that's a big one because it's one of those really hated movies, supposedly, even though I still feel more people like it than they say, especially based on things that, I've seen over time. But Halloween Ends is a big one. But one that always sticks out to me, is one of my favorites that we've ever done, is The Lords of Salem.
Oh, yes. Hell yeah.
That was a huge one. FD just mentioned another one, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yes.
We did for Positive Spin, another one of my favorites.
Yep. Mine was a 2-parter. I liked it so much.
Yeah.
A 2-parter. I had
Those
pages.
are definitely some of my favorites.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Twilight was one of my favorites because I don't think a lot of people expected us to do that.
I think that was like our least watched one too.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one, FD, is your favorite? 1 or 2?
Bon Jovi was on American Idol.
All right. One of my all-time favorites, I did a lot of research on this one, is Exorcist II: The Heretic.
That was the second one we did too.
I know, but I had a really good time with that one. Because I mean, let's be honest, it's a hated movie. It's one of the most hated sequels ever. And, you and I kind of jumped down the rabbit hole with that one and figured out a lot of stuff about it. And, we always do our research and stuff. But with that one in particular, there were a lot of things that really made sense in that film that I think got past a lot of people.
Yeah.
The whole thing with it being too good for other people.
Yep.
Not literally.
No, too good.
But yeah, too good. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
And just the fact that it's not really that bad.
It went over people's heads.
Yeah, I think so.
FD, I think that's awesome. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is is your favorite of the franchise because that ranks very high for both Jason and myself.
Yep.
I think it's an amazing movie. It gets way too much criticism.
Yep.
I feel like it's another one. It's kind of went over people's heads. I don't mean that to be insulting to people who don't like it, but I really do feel that way because it's like, oh, he tried something different. Doesn't mean you have to hate it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie. So yeah, Lords of Salem is definitely one that I've always think about. One of my favorites for sure. Let me see my next one here. I mean, there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Here's one that I really liked doing, and it's literally considered one of the worst movies of all time. But Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Yes.
I have so much fun with that movie.
Me too.
I just think it's so entertaining, and I just had a blast when we did it for that. And
That was one of my least watched ones too.
yeah, mine too.
And you figured movies like Manos, Plan 9 from Outer Space, movies that are genuinely considered to be bad films, that kind of have to be on the list at some point. You figured more people would tune in, but I guess maybe they just expected it to be on the list. I don't know. But it's definitely one I wanted to cover. Let's see. There was a couple of them on here. And it was because of your reaction. The Mummy. Tom Cruise's The Mummy.
I was just looking at that one. Yeah.
Your reaction to that film was priceless for me. Because I remember when it first came out, oh boy, it got... Even before the movie, the day it came out, it was getting crapped on by everyone. So it took me a while to actually watch that film because I figured, well, people don't like it. Not that I should listen, but I figured people don't like it. There's got to be a reason. And I watched it and I was really confused because it was a solid story. One of the most popular actors of this time and period. And I wasn't sure how you were going to feel about it. That was one of the ones, most of them I can say, Joe's going to like this,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how you were going to feel about The Mummy, but the fact that you liked it as much as you did kind of blew me away.
Yeah, I just think it was one of those things where I think it was one of the ones I went into with the least expectations.
Yeah.
Just because of obviously what I heard. Not that I expected to not like it, because
Yeah.
I always go into these expecting, I don't really like to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
But it just pissed me off because it's like it made me want more. It made me want the rest of that, that
Dark
universe that was
universe.
planned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad said I'll give you this. I like the Lords of Salem more than last time I watched it than before. Good. I'm glad.
I'm glad too. Glad.
Like I said, I have a special attachment to that movie too. Being someone who goes to Salem every year, it makes me love it even more because these are the streets that I walk. These are the places that I've been. Rob's Nightmares. My favorite positive spin is Blood and Honey. Yeah.
Nice.
That was a
Thank
good
you,
one.
sir. Yeah. That one was a little bit personal for us. There's been a few that have been a little personal because of things that were said to us. And that was one of them. One that I'm especially proud of is Black Christmas 2019.
Because we don't like the movie?
Yeah, we don't like the film. And, we were able to kind of sit down. And I remember having a lot of conversations during that film.
Yep.
And things that we really enjoyed and things that we thought were going to go this way and they kind of didn't. So it was like good and bad for both, but I felt like we were honest. Well, we were honest anyway, but we were honest in our positive spins saying what we actually did like about it. And there are things that, even though we don't care for the film, there are things to be taken away from that film that had a lot of potential. And, so to be accused of liking everything like we are, we've done a few that we don't particularly care for, but that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to talk about a film that's genuinely hated and to say something positive about it, because there are positives in all of these films.
Yep.
I have never seen a movie that was completely bad from the start to the end. There's always been something I liked about it, whether it be the coloring, whether it be a monster design, whether it be the actors that were involved, some of the writing, some of the action that's taken place. To say that you can't pick out one thing, I think
if you can't pick out one thing, it's because you don't want.
Something's wrong. Yes, something's wrong.
Yeah.
The Star Wars Holiday Special. Man, I had such a good time with that after so many years.
Oh, I thought somebody said that in the chat. No, you're saying it. Yeah.
I'm just
another one of my favorites, because it's literally one of my favorite films of all time, is Boxing Helena.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And that was actually one of our most popular positive spins too. It got a lot of views. That movie's amazing and definitely one of my favorites.
One of the most confusing ones was Beyond the Valley of the Dolls for me. And it was one of our most watched positive spins. But I still got to watch the first one. Have you ever seen the first one, Joe?
Valley of the Dolls, yeah.
Okay, I got to watch the first one. I've never seen the first one.
Sharon Tate, so
that's why I want to watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Found some really interesting stuff about I, Frankenstein that I thought was really neat, and it's going to apply to something that we have coming up.
Okay.
We've really done some fun freaking movies. We really have. We did Season of the Witch based on someone's recommendation.
Texas Chainsaw 3D FD. I don't think we did that for positive spin, right?
Mm-mm.
But
no, because it seems like people like it now. Well, they didn't like it at first.
Well, I think the reason why we haven't done it either is because we had done The Next Generation for TCM.
Part 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Part 4.
I mean, I'll tell you this, FD. Texas Chainsaw 3D is one of my favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Godfather Part 3. That was another one I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
people didn't seem to care.
No one seemed to care about
but
that.
I really did enjoy that one. Man, we've done some really fun movies. Batman and Robin.
Let's see.
How about The Last Airbender? Womp womp. Oh, Mac and Me. That was a first time watch for me.
That's right. It was a first time watch for you.
It was. So I got to experience that with Joe, who's watched it before. And that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And that's one of the things I like about Positive Spin. If it's a movie that I haven't seen or if that Joe hasn't seen, it's a way for me to introduce it to them or for him to introduce it to me, and we can have some fun with it. So, yeah. Mac and Me was a first time watch for me. Smiley, which is right underneath of it, was a first time watch for Joe. I think, wasn't it?
Which one?
Smiley?
Smiley was first time watch. Yep.
Yeah.
I thought a smile at first. I was like, oh God.
No.
Let me see.
The Never Ending Story too. That's been on a lot lately on regular television.
Really?
The first one, and I've been watching it. So you kind of got me going on that one. All right, here's one that neither one of us particularly cared for, but we really tried to find the good in it. I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu.
Yeah.
It did have some interesting things in it. Certain aspects of the film, certain women in the film. it's just odd a rape revenge movie being 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
That's the big thing with it. It's way too long. It's just
Yeah.
way too long. Jason Myers. I was literally just going to say that one.
Which one?
Hills Have Eyes Part 2.
Hell yeah. I love that movie.
I like that's such a universally hated sequel, and it's I think it's great. I love it. I actually
Yeah.
prefer it to the original.
Ooh. And I don't want to give anything away, but we actually have one coming up that later this month that both Joe and I did not like, but our minds were very changed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be really good. Hopefully people will watch it.
I hope so. This is a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. It really shocked me. Rise of
Another
Skywalker.
non-horror one that was fun was when we did Christmas Vacation 2, because
Yes.
I remember you thinking, "Oh God, this is going to be bad." We wanted to get it over with, and then we watched it. And we were like, "You know what? This is pretty damn fun."
It is.
Like, and listen, I'm a freaking huge fan of the original. I mean, I love that
Yeah.
movie so much. I watch it countless times during the Christmas season. But and that's always like the flack that the second one gets. Like, oh my God, this movie's awful compared to the first one. I don't do that with movies. Like,
Yeah.
I try to judge each individual movie for its own merits. Like,
Right.
I didn't expect it to be the first one.
Oh,
I
I
went
had
into
a
the
blast
movie.
with it.
I went in the movie with realistic expectations, like knowing what it is. And you know
Yeah.
what? It was so much fun.
Yeah. And I feel like it's the same way with Christmas Story too.
Yeah, that was good too.
Yeah, it blew you away.
Yep.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with these. Wicker Man.
I still think it's funny that one of the highest rated positive spins we've ever done is the Suspiria remake, which we
Yeah.
did. That was our last week's video.
Yeah.
And I had more comments on that video, people saying how much they don't like it, than I did on videos for movies that have like much lower ratings. And it's
Yeah.
like, look, we've done plenty of like really low rated movies, and people are like, oh, I don't think this deserves a positive spin. And then we do Suspiria, which has a really high rating, and people are like, oh my God, that movie sucks. Like, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised. I mean, not that I should be, but I was a little surprised. I like doing positive spin. I always have. It's time consuming. It's
It is.
knowing what to say, knowing what not to say. Not as far as like what's going to get people mad, but there's certain things I like to point out about
That's
the
awesome,
film
Dan.
that strikes me as fun.
Yeah. It's, it's, again, we're 90 videos in, and people still don't understand the concept.
Yeah.
It's like, just because we're only saying positive things doesn't mean that there aren't things that we don't like about it as well, about some of these movies. But that's the point of positive spin, is to only say the positives, because there are other people who are only pointing out the negatives. And people just don't get that. Like, I've literally had comments on those videos, and I know you have as well. I don't know what you're reading. I know
I'm
you
sorry.
have as well. People saying, like, why are you only saying good things about the movie? Well, that's the point of the series.
Positive spin.
Like, that's literally the point.
Yeah. I really like the Hills Have Eyes Part 2, the remake one. I like that one too. I actually saw that in the theaters. And when Joe and I rewatched it for Franchise Frenzy, it just kind of solidified how much I like that movie.
Yeah, Jason.
Eddie.
I love that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one. I mean, being a big fan of the very first Vacation, and of course, everyone kind of crapping on European Vacation, even though I like that one too. when Christmas Vacation came out, everybody loved it so much. I kind of took it personally.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to warm up to it. But it's finally, I mean, I love it. I think it's great. And it made me appreciate Christmas Vacation 2 that much more. So, favorite non-horror movie? Mine is The Osterman Weekend.
Which, let's be
Joe's-
honest, and I was just gonna say both of our favorite movies have slight horror elements.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I think Osterman Weekend definitely does, and my
Mhm.
favorite movie of all time is Kenny and Company, which was the inspiration
Mhm.
for Phantasm. So there's a slight
Yep.
horror element there, which is what inspired Don Coscarelli to make Phantasm, because he was like, "Oh, I like doing this horror stuff."
Yeah. Thank God.
So yeah,
And Kenny and Company is very close for me. But The Osterman Weekend has always been my favorite. I mean, I can quote it, and yeah. And fortunately, I was able to introduce you to that one, and I'm glad you really enjoyed it. I think did. Your mom watch it too?
oh yeah. I mean, my whole family loves it now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I said, it's like September hits and they're like, "Oh, when are we gonna watch Kenny and Company?" It's like, hold on.
Yeah. Oh, that's me. Except I can watch Bob now, so I'm okay. I had to fast forward through Bob for a few years because it was a rough one for me. But
It does that scene so well, though. That's the thing.
yeah, it does. I mean, it does. It's the hurt. It's the yeah. It's yeah.
Texas, my favorite horror movie. Well, it's the movie that was inspired by my favorite movie, and that
Yeah.
is Phantasm.
Mine is Friday the 13th Part 2. Yeah.
Yeah, Rob, that was another one of my favorite
Yeah.
positive spins we did, Exorcist Believer.
But that made me mad. Oh, still makes me mad that, as a matter of fact, Joe and I were talking about it before we went live about who the director is now, which I like the director. But the fact that we're not going to see David Gordon Green's vision come to pass. I was,
Professor.
I'm very curious as to where he would have went with that.
Yeah.
So, hey, Professor.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Mike Flanagan is going to be directing the next Exorcist movie, and they're going in a different direction from what was planned. So now we're never going to know where they were going to go originally because of all that negativity. Imagine that. Another favorite positive spin of mine was another recent one, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, because it is my favorite Star Wars movie, and it's another one that got a ton of negative comments. People saying, "Oh, how can you like this one?" And like, okay.
Well,
I mean, maybe for the I just listed everything in a 12-minute and 42-second video. Maybe if you listen to what I said, then you'll know why I like it.
that didn't surprise me. And the reason why is because, Star Wars fans are very,
I
they're
know,
very
but guess what?
passionate.
Just like
I-
Suspiria, it's one of the highest rated movies we've done for
I know.
Positive Spin.
I know.
I think the highest rated movie we've ever done for Positive Spin is The Godfather Part 3, but nobody cared about the video.
Nope. And they still crack on it. They were cracking on it the other day.
Yeah.
Jersey Shore was cracking on The Godfather Part 3. I was like, oh, man.
It gets a lot of crap, but it's
Pissed me off.
I think it's misunderstood.
I'm glad you got it too, Dan. Did you watch it yet? I saw it in the one I sent you. The one with the shiny slipcover.
Yeah, the Anchor Bay.
Yeah, I saw that in a store the other day.
Really?
I didn't buy it.
I'm surprised.
I didn't buy it. I abstained.
I'm surprised.
I know, you and me both.
I always forget that I got the Blu-ray that day. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, I love that cover.
The Anchor Bay Blu-ray,
yeah. Yeah, it's just I just love the movie. It's just so good. Favorite comedy, Joe? No one asked this, but I'm just kind of asking. That's a tough one for me. Step Brothers is up there for me, but I don't think it's my favorite. Just Friends is up there too, but that's not my favorite. Ooh, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
I really like Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. That movie fucking cracks me up every time. But that's up there, but that's not my favorite.
My wife loves that movie, Texas.
What's that?
Bad Santa.
Yes. Yeah, I like both of them. I like the newer one and Badder Santa. Yeah.
I think
Bad
Professor,
Santa.
I think we talked about this at some point. I don't know if it was a stream or maybe a comment or something. I remember you saying that. I don't know. I don't see it any different than anything else they've done in Star Wars movies. Like characters reappear and appear all the time. It's like I feel like people have such an issue with that, and it's like, what the hell's the big deal? I mean, I think it was kind of cool how they handled it. He's always been around. I mean, I think it makes it creepier in that way. Like he's always been in the back, kind of controlling all these things. And for me, that was actually one of the positives for me. I like that they brought
I always liked the Emperor, and I don't know, I just never got the feeling that it was final.
No, I didn't either. And
Return of the Jedi.
And also, what do you do for the villain after Ryan Johnson destroyed what's his face in The Last Jedi?
Snoke. Snoke.
Yeah. After he kills him, so what are you supposed to do for this last film? I mean, J.J. Abrams had no choice really but to do something like that. I mean, what else are you going to do? Not going to bring back Darth Vader. I mean, so like what?
Yeah.
For this epic finale,
Snoke was such a wasted character. Such a wasted character.
I think it worked well. I think it makes sense with why he was back and why it took him so long to get back. And so that's just me though.
Oh, Fanboys is tough. That might be. Yeah.
I don't know I really don't know for comedies. I mean, again, nostalgia, like Christmas Vacation is up there for me.
Yeah.
Like that is one of my favorite comedies of all time. I love that movie. And it's a Christmas movie. It's one of those Christmas movies that I can watch all year long, and I love it.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a big one for me.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. I don't know if it would be mine. Fanboys is one that hits the. It kind of hits on every level for me, and I always forget about it though. But being a Star Wars fan, you kind of get all the inside jokes, and Clerks. Yeah. That's another one. Just makes me laugh hysterically whenever I watch it. Yeah. Step Brothers, though, man.
We still have to watch Clerks 3. I can't believe you still haven't watched it.
I know. Still haven't watched Jay and Silent Bob. Neither one of them. And I'm a Kevin Smith fan.
Wait, you haven't watched either of the Jay and Silent Bobs?
Oh. No, I mean I haven't watched the last one.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you haven't seen either of the Jay and Silent Bobs.
When I originally saw it, I was not as big of a fan of Jay and Silent Bob as I was like Clerks and.
Yeah, me neither.
It maybe was a little too silly in parts.
Yeah.
But I do have a greater appreciation for it now. Oh,
Jason, that's a good one, Jason. Wedding Crashes is hysterical.
Yes. Every time it comes on, I watch it. Just
I love when he's like, the painting was a gift, and I'm taking it with me.
I had a boyfriend dry humping me up and down the field all day.
That movie's great.
This is Doubtfire. That's a good one.
Hell yeah, Robin Williams.
If I had to pick a Robin Williams one, oh God, it would be The Survivors for me. Survivors is just hysterically funny for me. Strange Brew, the one I got today.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb, but it's so funny. Oh, man. I used to watch that all the time when I was younger. Hot Shots Part 2. I've actually never seen it. I do have it downstairs, but I've never watched that one or the first one. Believe it or not. But Of course, Airplane was like that, and Top Secret, that was a funny one. I always liked that one. Duck Soup, huh?
Uncle Book.
Uncle Buck's funny, yeah. Yeah, Uncle Buck's pretty good. Laugh out loud funny. I mean, I hate to keep mentioning it, but Step Brothers just makes me laugh hysterically. Hysterically. That's actually funny, Jason Myers, because I watched The Hangovers recently, and I don't remember them being as funny as they are. They were just cracking me up.
The first one especially, I saw that one in theaters, and the crowd was like amazing in that theater.
Really?
Especially at the end when they're showing all the photos that we didn't get to see throughout the movie. So like, that shows like the photos over the end credits. Everybody was cracking up. Favorite
Well, that was like
actor and actress.
my buddy and I when we went to see American Pie for the first time. We sat in the back of the theater. I had the flu at the time. I was
Yeah.
dying, dude.
Oh,
I couldn't breathe.
So funny.
I couldn't breathe. First time I watched it, it was so funny. And my wife and his wife were just sitting there looking at us like they didn't even want to associate with us, you know? Like we don't know these people. I mean, it was hysterical. I was kicking my feet and I was dying. Actor and actress. Oof.
That's tough for me.
Well, actor's not. My favorite actor has always been Rutger Hauer. Actress though, jeez.
It's tough for me.
Yeah, that is tough. Yeah, that's tough. Oh, Men at Work. I was a garbage man at one time. First time I saw Men at Work, I was dying and kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I was kind of like shriek-worthy scenes because we actually did that kind of crap. Skipping lids down the street, jumping on garbage cans. Yeah, we were dicks, but yeah, that was a good one. Ah, that's interesting. Jay and Silent Bob, Strike Back. I do like it a lot now. It just wasn't a big fan when I first watched it.
Yeah, I like it. Like I said, it's just not my favorite of them.
Yeah. Actress, man, I don't even know where to go with that.
This is one of those questions where it's like I probably could answer it like if I wasn't asked the question. Like right now,
what
I'm
do you go about? You go on looks? Do you go on acting ability?
I know.
Do you go on, oof, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Yeah. Do you like war movies, Joe? I don't even know if we've ever really talked about it.
Yeah, I gotta be in the mood.
Yeah, I watch them every once in a while. I still have a few that I haven't watched that I got at like thrift stores and shit, like 1917. I haven't watched it yet.
Ingrid Pitt, Dan says. I wonder why.
Oh my god. Oh. See now, if it were based on that, it
Ingrid
would
Pitt.
be Edward Finneck. That would Edward Finneck.
Yeah.
Yeah. There ain't no doubt in my mind. But yeah. Ingrid Pitt. Yeah.
It's really tough. Like it's hard for me to look at actors and actresses because then it's like are we looking at like an individual role, and it's like because like I can look at like James Gandolfini in The Sopranos and be like one of my all-time favorite performances in anything ever, like
Yeah.
movie, TV show. Like I think he plays like the all-time greatest TV character, and I think it's incredible performance like all the way through. So it's like what I mean. There's things like that. It's like there's so many different categories, so many different ways to look at it.
Yeah, definitely. I've just always liked Rutger Hauer because some of his, yeah, Osterman Weekend and Blade Runner, two of my very favorite movies. Wanted Dead or Alive, love it. Split Second, great movie. I just consistently liked what he put out, and it made me want to research his other films, which I enjoyed as well, a majority of them.
Yeah.
So. Jack Nicholson. Yeah, he's in bad shape now.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Just like Reggie Bannister.
Oof.
The Reg. Favorite horror movie? A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake.
Black Christmas 2019.
Yeah.
Evil Dead Rise.
Oh God. Don't even get me started.
Cult of Chucky.
Yeah. Oh man. That one was rough for me. Oh boy. That one was rough.
I may never watch it again.
No, I'll do you one better. I will never watch it again.
Oh.
I like the lenticular slipcover. That's about it.
Yeah. It's
Fuck
unfortunate.
that movie. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yep.
It's interesting, like you'll have like people that don't like Rob Zombie Halloween movies or Rob Zombie movies in general, and they'll be like, "Oh, Rob Zombie ruined the Halloween franchise," Well, how about Don Mancini ruining his own franchise? Isn't that worse?
That's one way to look at it. Cult is amazing.
Amazing.
Okay.
Oof. Not only do I love Halloween, Halloween 1978. It's in my top.
Yeah, I mean it's up there.
What? Probably my top 5 horror movies of all time.
Like Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
That was the other question from Nathan today when I was watching his video, and he was doing that challenge. Said their favorite 70s movie, and he just it didn't specify, so he just picked horror, and he picked Dawn of the Dead. So, yeah, that's a good choice. It may not be mine, but it's definitely up there.
But think about that year. You have Halloween and Dawn of the Dead the same year.
Good God. Two heavy hitters right there.
I remember like for Tuesday, Top Tuesday, I was like, well, don't even have to think about anything for this one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's tough to go in those footsteps. Oh, that's cool. That's another one I didn't necessarily like as much when I first saw it, the original Return of the Living Dead. But it's kind of grown on me. It's grown on me over the years. Actually, at one time I liked part 2 more than part 1. And I know that's blasphemy because
3 is my favorite.
3 is awesome.
I love 3. I used to rent 3 all the time on VHS back in the day.
I wasn't prepared for 3 though, because first one, like it seems like every other movie or every other franchise, I started out with the second one. I started out with Return of the Living Dead 2. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, whatever. And then I watched the original, and I was like, eh. So then I wasn't really hip on renting the third one, and when I finally did rent it and watch it, I was like, wow, this is pretty fucking awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It definitely changed that the dynamic of that series for me. Yeah. Dawn of the Dead's awesome.
Yeah, Professor
That'll
Macabre,
definitely make the Hall of Fame.
I've seen that too. Oh, Dawn of the Dead for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the joys of physical media, Professor Macabre.
What is he having?
Warner Brothers DVDs starting to have disc rot issues.
Really? Oh, mother.
I think you need to go through your entire collection, Jason, and check them all right now.
Yeah, I just got Strange Brew. That's a Warner Brothers one.
No.
Bastards.
It's typically the older ones that it's been happening to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, Rob. Love Dawn of the Dead.
Well, that's not good for Dan and I, because Dan just got the snapper case of Salem's Lot. That's a Warner Brothers one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got plenty too. What are you gonna do? It is what it is.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Nothing you can do about it.
Nope. Just start a fire. Like I was about to do. Oh man, I got lucky and I caught it, but the last stack fell over. I was like, "Fuck!" So the last stack is hit the closet now, right? Leaned over. I'm like Twister. I have a DVD in my hand. I have my arm on the two stacks in front of me that are getting ready to fall. And I'm like, all right, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah.
So I ended up dropping the DVD on the floor and straightening up those two stacks before they fell. The joys of physical media.
Streaming rules.
Oh yeah. So update. You should know where this is going right away, Joe.
Yeah, Rob. Love Forest of the Lost Souls. I'm glad you did that one for F.
Oh, I gotta watch a review on that. I'm so glad you did that, because that's an awesome movie.
That movie's great. Hey, Gleaming the Tube. What's going on?
Hey, Gleaming the Cube.
Gleaming the Tube. Robo Vampire.
Oh, Gleaming the Tube. Yeah, Robo Vampire. I got it turned, right?
Okay.
And I started watching from the beginning, and the parts that were skipping are no longer skipping. I just didn't feel what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't feel brave enough to watch the whole thing again, because it starts skipping again towards the end. So far so good though. Man, this movie is like even the guy, when I went in there to take it to get it turned, he was like, what the hell is this? This looks like so much fun. I said, it is. It's like exactly what you would expect from a movie like that.
I'm surprised your OCD doesn't bug you about even getting discs turned.
Why?
Well,
it's
because
supposed to help.
Well, it shaves off a layer of the disc. That's why it works.
Yeah. Hey, it's like the McDonald's cheeseburger. I don't need to know how it's made. I just like the end presentation.
No, but it's literally shaving off the protection layer of the disc, so
yeah,
it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. I mean, what other choice do I have, though? I mean,
I know.
Now it didn't skip to the point where it just completely shut the machine off.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does that, but yeah.
Robo Vampire is a blast.
like the guy said, he's like, you got this from us? I was like, yeah. He's like, this looks absolutely atrocious, but I have to see it. It looks like it's like so much fun.
It is.
Like, yep, that's exactly what it is. It's the worst thing you've ever seen, but it's like impossible not to watch.
I was
and enjoy.
obsessed when I watched it that first time because I was like, "This is like entertainment at its highest level." Like,
Yes,
like
yes,
you can't look away.
yes.
So,
Even had Corinne laughing in the beginning, where they start hopping around.
yeah, the hopping
When they
vampire.
kill the one guy, the one army guy, and he
Mm.
falls down, he's got his tongue hanging out.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm just like, this is
Great.
just the greatest thing ever.
And I love how he looks like RoboCop on the cover, but he looks nothing like that in the movie.
But I love the costume.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's awesome.
Yeah,
I really
Dan,
love it.
you definitely need to see it. You will be a fan.
I end up getting a Japanese VHS release of that one because I loved it so
How
much.
does it look? Any good?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus the cover art is incredible. Yeah, Dan, you got to see it. It's great.
Hates movies in cold weather. Huh.
It's on some random multi-packs, Dan.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I have a
I wonder if
multi-pack
I have
with it
any
on
of them.
there. I do.
Huh.
You might as well.
Oh, I didn't have the one. I don't know if I ever did I tell you I didn't have the one with
the
Eden
Eden formula.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it though. Not in the wild.
Yeah, like I said, I held that thing a bunch of times and didn't even realize it until the other day. I was like, oh shit, I gotta get it. Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Hell yeah. I liked it. I thought it was fun. That whole
The whole
series
franchise. Yeah.
is something I'm going to be returning to.
Fun franchise.
So, yeah. Yeah.
No, Dan, I don't think I have.
Robotrick 7. No.
Robotrix with a question mark.
Oh, Robotricks. Getting tired. Everything's getting blurry. No, I'm just old. If you tried the chapstick trick, I've seen some videos of people using chapstick on DVD scratches to get them to play. That's interesting. I've never done that. I did try the toothpaste trick, which ended up not working real well.
Toothpaste works.
And that didn't for me.
Did you use the right kind of toothpaste?
Yeah, it's supposed to be one with abrasives in it.
Yeah, like a white toothpaste, not like a gel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works. It works better than anything else for as far as home remedies go. You just have to be really adamant about it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of elbow grease. You do. I mean, it does work. I've had like deep scratches and stuff before that, like I end up just like copying over to like back up, in the past, and
Yeah.
the toothpaste is what worked to get it to work.
Oh, did you ever try anything for that Pumpkinhead disc you had?
I didn't. I still have the disc, but I remember I made a copy of yours.
Yeah.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
I still have. I'll have to try someday something with it. It's not scratched. That's the thing. It's not scratched. Remember?
Oh, so it's
was-
probably a manufacturing defect.
Yeah, it's a manufacturing defect. So
that pisses me off even more.
I mean, it's spotless. It's like literally spotless. There's not a fingerprint on it. Nothing. It's perfectly spotless.
Yeah, that hurts.
Brad learned the lotion trick by mistake when he was watching something he shouldn't have been watching.
What the fuck is lotion?
He said, I guess for scratches.
Jergens. And a good time.
Jerkins. Brad, I don't know if you were here when we first started, but we both watched Godzilla -1.
Oh my god. So good.
Yeah. So I know he saw it in theaters. He loved it.
I wish I would have seen it in theaters now. Can you imagine?
Well, maybe
Good
you
Lord.
should have, but you didn't.
Yeah, I know I should have, but I didn't. That atomic, my god. I was, yeah.
She
Yeah,
got
it's
tossed.
awesome. It's awesome.
She got tossed from that atomic breath.
She got tossed, and then what would be the thing that happened after that? And then sucked.
Yeah, right.
Tossed and then sucked.
Noriko out. Going.
And she pushed him in the alley. That's funny.
He was a bitch. Rob, unfortunately, there is no release planned right now for -1.
Yeah, that's fucking Netflix. I hate you, Netflix.
Every release that was supposedly announced was debunked. They said they have no plan to release it physically right now. Netflix has exclusive rights to it for God knows how long. So, and same thing with that's why Shin Godzilla went out of print the way that it did. Shin Godzilla actually got pulled from shelves. So
I don't see it anymore either. Like, I used to see used copies every once in a while, but I don't see them anymore.
Shin,
Yeah,
exactly, because it got pulled. Same thing with me.
yeah.
Like I had literally multiple FYEs near me, and Newberry Comics had all had copies of Shin Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
And then I went one day to FYE and it was gone. I was like, well, that's weird. Then I went to Newberry Comics and I asked, and he's like, yeah, he's like, we actually had to send them back.
Oh.
And then I called FYE, the one that you and I went to, because I knew that they had it. And then I talked to the manager and she said the same thing. She said, because of the rights issues, they literally had to send them back. So it wasn't even, they couldn't even sell it if they still had the copy. They wouldn't be allowed to.
Oops, something happened to it.
Brad, Japan already released it, but there's no English subtitles for that release.
Yeah. 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 The black and white version sounds really cool.
Yeah, Netflix is supposed to be putting the black and white out minus color, so that'll be coming out on Netflix as well. But I've never seen it.
Were we talking about the Dollar Tree? And
I've never seen it there or at Walmart. Shin Godzilla.
Oh yeah, I haven't either.
Like I said, supposedly again. I mean, for Newberry Comics to send it back is a big deal because they're the ones. That's where I found my Clown House DVD back in the day because they didn't give a shit about it. So it was obviously a big deal. I mean, literally hearing it from like not even like the same store, like two different companies both told me the same thing. So I was like, wow.
Yeah. I bought mine off of Facebook. Actually, Corinne found the ad for me. It was Godzilla versus Biollante. The Blu-ray. Shin Godzilla.
I don't have a $3 bin at my Walmart. That's a $3 bin.
I don't either anymore. They used to have them.
I used to have a $5 and a $7.50. I never had a $3.
Yeah, we used to have a $3 one.
Never had that around here. That's crazy. How are YouTubers
reacting to Godzilla before it was even on Netflix?
Probably in the theater, no?
I guess, yeah.
People saw it in the theater.
A lot of people went to see it in theater, like the guys from Body Bags all went to see it.
Yeah, like I said, I know Brad did. I know Brad saw it in theaters. So.
Yeah. I know Dan saw it. Dan saw it twice, I think. I think you saw the color one and the minus color.
I mean, I definitely want to see minus color, but at the same time, I love the colors in the way that it looks now. Like I love like the blue and stuff, like the atomic breath and that icy blue color. So cool.
Yeah. A friend of mine didn't like it and sold me his copy for hell yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I had no idea. I remember seeing them at FYE and then I just didn't see them anymore.
Yeah,
so
that's why exactly.
I looked it up on Amazon and they said they had one for $14, but it might be a bootleg.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. All I know is I have the original slipcover, everything, and they're not coming and getting mine. They can pry it out of my cold dead hands.
I'm gonna send them to your house right now.
No. Yeah, you saw it 2 times. You saw the color and the black and white, right there. Yeah, I should have went to see it. Fucking Godzilla, man! When they were chasing the boat. Oh,
I love that scene. I love how his head keeps popping up out of the water.
Yeah,
Like that when I sent you the picture when I was watching it. Like that.
Yeah,
scene
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was the part that you were on when he was shooting at the mines.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. I thought it was amazing. I love the whole thing, but when they blew out the side of his face, and his face started materializing back in, I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I said, "This is awesome."
Anybody in the chat, have you guys seen the new Godzilla X Kong movie that's coming out Tuesday on Blu-ray? Because I'm probably going to go on Tuesday and get it, and I haven't seen it yet, and I'm just excited about it, and I'm curious to see what you guys think of that one.
Brad said his doesn't have a slip. Your Shin Godzilla?
How was it, Rob? And how was it, Texas? What you guys think?
Yeah.
Oh, good. A lot of fun, he said.
Hell yeah.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I love the first one, Texas, so I'm not expecting it to be better than that one, but as long as it's fun. I mean, I
The
don't
first Godzilla Kong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong. Man, that movie's awesome.
Hell yeah. And for anyone who wants to debate, Godzilla did take it. He took about 2 out of 3 falls.
Oh, and the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt bad for Kong. Got his ass kicked.
Fuck him. Send his ass back to Skull Island. You don't fuck with Godzilla. All right.
Dan says it's wild fun. Hell yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm excited.
Cool. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Jason and I watched it twice in one day together when the first one came out. We were super excited for that one. I watched it like 5 times in like the first few days. I had so much fun with that one.
Godzilla got his ass kicked by. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, but he had Kong. Kong had his back on that one.
Yeah, Texas. I'll grab the Blu-ray. I'll grab it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to wait a little while, but I'll get it.
I haven't bought anything like new in a while, so this was like this will be a worthy one.
Does anybody know what it's coming out on? As far as like for streaming, I know it's a bad word.
Well, excuse me.
I know.
Streaming.
Well, I don't. I can't get it right away.
Probably Max.
Oh fuck! Of course, I don't have that one. I don't even think Kirsten has that one.
Max tends to get all the Godzilla movies. I know they have them right now. So
we're watching The Dogs at the end of June again. So we got work to do, man.
Nah.
We're almost caught up.
Nah. It's like the Goonies. This is our time down here.
Down where? Down where?
Down in the oblivion of YouTube.
I hope so. I'm really enjoying the American Godzilla films. I liked 2014. I know a lot of people didn't like that one. I did. I really liked King of the Monsters. I thought King of the Monsters was awesome. And I loved Godzilla versus Kong. So
Yeah.
I thought that they were all fantastic. And for different reasons. I mean, granted, the 2014 version of it had a lot of human characters and not a lot of Godzilla, but man, he was freaking massive in that one.
I think
Not
they
that he's
should,
not massive in the other ones, but yeah.
I want a Gigan remake with amusement park sitting.
Hell yeah. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't brought some of the other characters. I mean, you know, they've done the Mecha Godzilla and the whole Kong thing, but you know, I'm not holding my breath for Megalon, but you know, Jet Jaguar, it would be cool to see him return. So I don't know.
What size TV? I got a bunch of TVs.
55.
I have.
Although I don't watch it a whole lot.
Yeah, the one in my living room is a 65, and then I have like 40 something in the bedrooms. Down here, I have like a 40 something, I think. Maybe a 50 down here.
That's the one I watch mostly is our 40 something inch.
Yeah.
That's here. Because that's where my region free player is. So
it's funny, like I have the 65 inch in the living room, and I probably watch most of my movies down here on a smaller TV.
Yeah. Whenever we watch a movie, it's on the one right here.
Yeah.
40 some inch. So
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people say that, Professor, about them cutting away.
Yeah. I'll watch Godzilla downstairs. It'd be even bigger. Except for Shin, because all I'll be hearing about is them talking.
Friggin' dialogue.
Yeah, I was such a. When you told me you were watching Shin, I was like, oh no. Oh no. Especially after watching that one. Come on. The first mutation, though, that was just so cool. He looked like a Muppet. I swear to God, he looked like a Muppet.
It was like a googly-eyed turtle. Like the googly eyes you stick on like your homework when you're a kid. The teacher sticks on there.
Yeah.
Look like a parade, like a like the Chinese New Year parade.
He was just kind of flopping along
like a parade float. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun one. Oh, he was also in Hollywood Boulevard. Wait a minute, you haven't seen that, have you?
I haven't. We talked about it because I told you.
Yeah, Godzilla was in that one too.
Really?
Yeah. Well, a guy dressed up in a Godzilla suit.
Well, that's like the first what 20 movies. Is a guy
Yeah.
How about you guys in the chat? What is your favorite Godzilla movie?
Godzilla the board meeting.
Yeah,
there you go, Dan.
Exactly, Dan.
Oh, do you know who the guy who did Tetsuo? Do you know which guy was in Shin Godzilla?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him and I right away I was like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, people in the chat, what is your favorite Godzilla movie? Just out of curiosity.
Cut to another meeting.
And not necessarily the objectively best, just your personal favorite for whatever reason.
Yeah. Mine's Godzilla versus Megalon, just for simple nostalgia.
That's like Gigan for me. Yeah, it's just nostalgia.
Yeah. But -1 might be number 2. Might be.
Gigan, Godzilla versus Kong, and then -1. Definitely top 3 for me, right there.
Yeah.
Those 3. And then the original's up in my top 5 as well.
Oh my God, it's so cheesy, and Kong looks like a freaking. He looks like a ball.
No, I'm talking about the original Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
like
The
the
original
original.
Godzilla versus Kong is so much fun, but he
Oh,
looks
it
like a
is. We did
hobo.
that for Turn the
Yeah.
Ice. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a hobo. He's like hobo.
Macabro, I don't dislike Godzilla 98 though. I do like it.
I do too.
I think it's fun. Hey Bones.
We're talking about the Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, Brad, I did too. I saw it in the drive-in. Yeah, me too. Yep. Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, I like it too. I like the different twist they put on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's just something different, and I'll never forget the trailer appeared for the first time during the ball dropping for New Year's Eve.
Yep.
It was like this big deal, and I'm sure it made a lot of money.
I think it's a good product of its time. I think it's a good representation of movies that were coming out around that time.
Hey, man, they did pretty good with the CGI and all for that. It was pretty well made.
The problem I have with -1 is not a problem with the movie. It's the fact that now I'm going to judge all CGI based on that movie because it looks so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It's like now it's like this like a new standard to live up to. It's like if it can look that good,
Puff
then
Daddy.
other movies need to take notice, you know?
Rob,
I was just talking about that with Jason yesterday. I actually have that soundtrack.
Wasn't that Puff Daddy and Jimmy Page?
It was Puff Daddy and Jimmy Page. Yep.
I remember that.
The Wallflowers were on that soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think it's the
I might
Heroes.
actually have the soundtrack.
Heroes, right? We can be heroes just for one day.
Yep.
That song's on there.
Yep.
Yeah, Tywin Lannister, Jason. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Hero.
Attack of the Radioactive Iguana. Diddy. Yeah, Diddy. Hey, Bones. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I just think it's fun. I have fun with it. They all are, though. I mean, I don't think I've seen a Godzilla movie where I was like, oh, I don't like this. You know, I mean,
well, you know, after a while. I mean, look, I really did like Shin Godzilla. I liked it, but it, like we talked about, it's not one I'm going to probably be returning to.
No, but I liked it. I mean, like I said, my issue with it is just too talky. I mean, this is way too much dialogue. It's
too much, like Dan said, we go from a meeting to another meeting to another meeting to another meeting. And I like that aspect of the film, but I don't see that being a rewatchable part.
Exactly. It's
for Godzilla. I want to see Godzilla destroying shit. So after I've seen Shin Godzilla once,
it's like what we talked about earlier. It's some things are not necessarily bad until they become excessive.
Yes.
And that's the thing. It's like I like that aspect too, but it just becomes so excessive, so repetitive, especially with the Gojira. They say Gojira so many times in that thing.
How many fucking teams did they have in that movie?
Yeah.
They had a team for this. They had a team for that. They had a team for this. Like, good Lord, man.
Yeah. It is, Brad. Shin is that's what I was saying. Like, Shin is considered one of the best Godzilla movies ever. So when I watched it, I was like, really? Like, I like it, but it also didn't help that I watched it after I watched -1.
Yeah, which was big difference.
I watched it the same day, so
after -1.
Yeah, and I had been looking forward to watching Shin for a long time because I always heard how good it was.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, by the end, I was like, okay, I'm ready for it to end now. You know?
Yeah, I was ready. I just didn't understand how they were going to make what they did work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it was a little bit more not explained, but I could understand the logic behind -1.
I mean, Macabre, I'm with you, but it really is universally considered one of the best.
Yeah.
up until -1 came out, a lot of people considered Shin to be the best Godzilla movie since the original, is what people always raved about it.
Yeah, I like Final Wars better than Shin as well.
Yeah, like I said, I agree. I do too. But everybody else seems to think Shin is one of the best.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them are a product of their time, like Final Wars and Tokyo SOS and 2000. They're all basically a product of their time. So,
but there really aren't any that I don't like. I think it's like a matter of when you watch them. Like if I watch like a really good one and then I watch one that's not one of the better ones, then it's like, okay, well, I don't like this one that much. But it's not that I don't like the movie per se. It's just that it's not as good as, like I said, it just really just depends on how you watch them.
Yeah.
Like the original King Kong versus Godzilla. I mean, it's not a good movie, but
it's terrible.
But it's still fun,
It is.
We had a good time with it. Yeah.
Hobo King Kong.
Yeah, Dan, that's kind of how I feel about it too. It's the balance is off. It's way too much of the cabinet meeting time and time again.
Yeah.
And not enough angry Godzilla. Like I love the transformation stuff. The evolution of the monster is cool, but we don't get to see enough of it. Yeah, Bones loves 98. I get it. I mean, I think it's a lot of fun too. I
like it.
I think it's overhated for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it wasn't at the time though.
No, it was a big deal. We talked about this. It was a huge deal at the time.
It was. Got a whole
the music videos for the soundtrack were on like every 5 minutes on MTV and VH1. It was like, and it was music videos that had like movie footage in them. Remember? Like it was like the wallflowers walking down the city streets as Godzilla was like. Oh, and then you had what was it? The Green Day song. What was the Green Day song from that too? And it had Godzilla roaring in the background of the song, even on the CD. So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, they did real good on the marketing for that one. Have you ever seen any of the animated series, Joe? Don't remember if I have. If I did, I might have seen one.
I think I've seen like
the 98 animated series.
I think I've seen like an episode or two.
Yeah, I think that's might have been all I did as well.
Yeah. Smog Monster. I need to see Smog Monster again. I haven't. I don't know if I've definitely seen it, and if I have, it's been a long time. That's one that I don't currently own, so I need to get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to see that one, Dan. Yeah, Smog Monster. I gotta look for it.
A lot of people like the Smog Monster one.
Bones, we're probably gonna wrap up around midnight, so.
Yeah.
I know Jason's old and tired, but we'll definitely have you on for our Physical Media Matters stream.
The Netflix ones, I watched one, I fell asleep in it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the animation is beautiful, but I don't know. It seemed, I don't want to say it was boring, but it just, I don't know.
Bones, I'm not just blowing smog either. We'll definitely have you on for Physical Media Matters. I just don't want to have you come on and then be like, all right, bye everyone.
Yeah, I'll probably find that somewhere.
What?
Flea market or something, the animated series for.
I've seen it around from time to time. So I'll pick it up when I see it again. Now, like I said, now I'm intent on finding Smog Monster because especially after this conversation.
Yeah.
I gotta find it.
It's a fun one.
Jason and I were saying earlier, you know what, Godzilla is one of those things I get on a kick. You know, I'll watch one and it's like a potato chip. I can't have just one. Like I typically have to I'll watch one Godzilla movie, then I get in the mood to watch others. And I get on a bit of like a craze for a bit, watch a bunch of them, and then I'm okay for a while. And then like a new one will come out, or I'll watch one because I feel like it, and then I'm on like a kick again. And so I've always been like that with the Godzilla movies for some reason.
And each just one, right? Comet has the marathons where they play them for like a
Yeah.
weekend. I catch some of them sometimes.
Well, like I said, I know Max has them right now too. They have a lot of the Godzilla movies, so lots of times it'll come up as like a recommendation.
A surprise for me.
It's a nude.
It's a videotape of Serpent in the Rainbow.
It's the Serpent in the Rainbow, the remix.
The Serpent in the Rainbow. That was fucking great.
Oh yeah.
It makes me want to buy every single VHS I see at Goodwill.
You never know.
Yeah, you have to go to
That's
what do you got to do? You have to go to.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I put it on pause and then.
You have to go to your own channel,
Hmm.
like your.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Oh, here we go. No.
You bought all the merch for it, and you were disappointed.
Okay.
Well, thank you, dude. A surprise.
Dun dun dun.
No, this is the wrong one.
Sometimes, like today, I found Strange Brew on Blu-ray, which I've been looking for a while, and I found Silent Night, Deadly Night uncut on Blu-ray, the Anchor Bay, and I found the thing which Joe gives me shit for, this 4-pack that has Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Amusement.
In other words, it has 4 movies he already has.
Yeah, it does. I bought it for convenience.
I see that same 4-pack every time I go to that store, that $2 store.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's
I couldn't
it's
leave
like
it there. It's like
there's like 8 copies of it.
I felt sorry for it, so I had to come home with it. The fuck, man.
My Goodwills are pretty good. It just depends, Rob, when I'm there. I mean, just timing. Sometimes I'll go and I'll find like 15 things I need. Sometimes I go and find nothing.
Yeah.
Just depends.
And I found this one at another one today. Men in Black International. So now I have
that's MIB.
MIB International. So now I have the entire Men in Black franchise.
How many are there now? 4?
4. So now it's officially a franchise.
Yep.
Went from a trilogy. Then they fired everybody, and now it's a franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Oh yeah, I do that too, for sure.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for that one. I think I bought one a few months ago that had Carrie, Misery, and trying to think what else it had on there. It had one other movie, but I had them all. Dead Zone, Dolores Claiborne. I can't remember. It was a 3-pack. I had all the movies. I just didn't have them like that. But that was before I decided to stop being an asshole, which didn't work today.
Apparently.
That's not nice.
Well, you're the one who's supposed to keep me sane too. So if you're doing it, then
I know
it's that much easier for me to do it.
You know, when we were doing this for Franchise Frenzy, right? These movies, I couldn't find my Blu-ray of Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Mm-hmm.
Looked all over for it. Just happened to be that I was overlooking it, like I do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if I have two, I can overlook two of them.
Yeah, like Final Destination 2.
That motherfucker! Well, I didn't overlook that. I didn't overlook it. It was in that fucking Shutter bag. That pissed me off. I was like, son of a bitch. You know what? I bet you it's on Shutter because I looked through them bags.
I forgot it was part of that. I forgot it was part of that.
Motherfucker. Oh, like son of a bitch. Why did I do that?
That's funny. Some movie question of the most copies of.
TCM.
Probably The Evil Dead for me.
I have a lot of those too. But mine would be Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Evil Dead, TCM, Phantasm, Halloween are probably all up there for like top movies.
Yeah, I have a lot of Halloweens too. I started cutting back though.
Friday the 13th Part 2 is another one.
I cut back for Lent.
Yeah.
I was looking in the bag for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, right? The other night, you know why. And I was looking through the teas, and I started coming across all these different copies of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, why do I have all of these copies of TCM, like the Pioneer copy? Yeah. I have the one with the one that's like black and it's got the silver chainsaw on the front. That was an old one too. Was that Pioneer too?
That was Pioneer too, yeah. Okay. It's that was the re-release of the meat packaging one.
Oh.
Because the meat packaging, one side looks like that and the other side looks like the meat.
Motherfucker. I still don't have the meat packaging one.
Yeah, so when the meat packaging was the limited edition, so once that one was sold out, they released it in the keep case, the silver one that you had.
I have the Dark Sky DVD steelbook.
Yep, me too.
I have the Dark Sky DVD. I have the Dark Sky Blu-ray.
Me too.
Asshole. I have the
Hey Slade, he likes the
Brad just got it.
TCM2. TCM2 fan.
Like I like TCM2.
Yep, Professor Macabro. It took me forever to get all 5 of those. The D one was the hardest one to find because it not only does it spell devil, but it spells evil D on the spines. And yeah, that was the hardest one to find. Took me forever. I got all 5 of those. And then I have both Book of the Dead editions. Actually, I have 3 Book of the Dead editions. I have the Book of the Dead for Evil Dead, Book of the Dead for Evil Dead 2, and then the Book of the Dead, which has all 4 movies in it before Evil Dead Rise was released. Yeah, Slade, I like TCM2 a lot. That's my son's favorite TCM sequel.
Rob, I do that all the time, including last night. I overlooked the Prom Night remake.
Oh, don't even get me started, yeah.
I literally went through 3 totes looking for it, and it was in the first tote I looked, right in front of my face.
Yeah.
So
I do it all the time.
Set fire.
Yeah.
To my collection last night, once again.
Sometimes it's right in front of my face, and other times it's not, and I just can't find the thing, and then like,
Yeah.
I freak out. It's like 3 months later. Oh, there it is
Rasputin.
in this pile.
Fucking Rasputin.
Yeah.
Bastard. I told you I went looking through boxes the other day.
You realize it's been missing for like a year?
Yeah. And when I find it, I'm going to break it into a million pieces.
Imagine you
No,
find
actually,
it,
no.
you find it, you put it in the player, and then it doesn't work.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'd probably burn it all down at that point. I would definitely probably burn it all down. Yeah. Fucking Rasputin. See, that cover just pisses me off.
I know. That blue cover.
Mm. Oh, here we go. Prom Night remake. Both the theatrical and unrated DVDs of that. Why? Because why not, I guess. Yeah. I have both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the unrated on DVD, I have the unrated on Blu-ray, and I have the theatrical on DVD too.
Yeah. Same.
I got 3 copies of that one.
Same.
I like it.
And
though.
to be honest with you, I
like
probably
it.
couldn't tell you what the difference is.
There's like a different ending, I believe.
Really?
It ends differently, yeah.
Huh.
It's not just like gore or whatever. There's some differences in it.
Ah. The last time we watched it, I think. I got confused by the ending because I thought it was the other one.
Yeah, you said that, yeah. Because you had watched the theatrical before that because you saw it on something, and then we watched the unrated when we watched it.
I was like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah. Yep.
So I remember seeing it. I saw it at the drive-in. It was a double feature with Shudder, Joshua Jackson.
Nice.
And
nice.
then when I bought the Blu-ray, I bought the unrated Blu-ray of Prom Night, and I remember watching it at home, and I was like, I don't remember ending like this. And that's why.
You know, another really hated movie.
What?
One Missed Call, the American version.
And that friggin' phone ring will be in your head for days after you watch it. Damn ring.
What is it? There's something like a teddy bear or something.
That music that it plays. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slade. Yeah, Beast Within. That's a good movie.
Oh, I love that one.
Isn't there a little bit more blood? There is some more blood, and yeah, like I said, the ending is different. It ends differently too, Rob. There's some extra stuff in there.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the Prom Night remake.
I do too. It's just a slasher movie.
That was another one we did for Positive Spin.
Frogman official trailer streaming June 7th. Yeah, it'll never compare with the original Prom Night, but you know. Stop it. Don't even bother. I'm about due to watch that again too.
You just did.
I know.
You know why you have to keep watching it? Because it's so damn forgettable. Keep reminding yourself.
That's why I have to keep watching it. I'm not going to watch this copy of it though. It's too dark.
I remember the opening, and I remember the ending, and then everything in between is just a blur. I don't know what it is about that movie.
Now it's my turn.
I don't absorb any of it. It's weird.
Not even when she's in her bra coming out of the bathroom. When the
I don't know. It doesn't stick.
Mirror breaks.
It doesn't stick with me. I don't know why. I watched it 2 days in a row. Remember, we watched it, and then I watched it again the next day, and I still didn't remember anything about it.
The killer is here. Kill.
That's awesome, Slade. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that movie is so disco. But the funniest part about that movie is the different things they had to do in order to make the movie happen. They wanted more than the budget for one disco song that wasn't even that popular.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And all of them are, every single song in Prom Night is a ripoff of a famous disco song, which I just love. The guy did it in like a day. That's awesome. Hey. They even did They even did it in the sleeper. Remember that? Which I thought that was really weird, but whatever.
Macabro, I actually talked about this maybe in our last stream. The reason it's dark on purpose, Requiem. So I know a lot of people don't like that fact, and I get it, but I always liked it because it's authentic. Like the director, not the lighting director, but the director specifically wanted it that dark because he said this is how it would look if you were actually there. Like when you're in a sewer and there's no lights, it's going to be dark. So he wanted the audience to view the movie as the characters would. I mean, and it's one of those things, and it's just one of those odd things that I look for in movies. Like, there's plenty of times when like people are in the middle of the woods, but there's all this light around, and it's like there's not that much light from the moon. So where is this light coming from? And I get it from a realistic standpoint. You need lighting for the camera so that way you can actually see what's happening in the movie. But I can also understand where the director was coming from. Like it was, it wasn't like a mistake. Like it was intended to be that dark. And again, I understand why people don't like it, but I like Requiem a lot.
Our new positive spin is now live.
Oh, look at that. It is.
And is this our lowest rated film on IMDb?
It might be.
It might be
the lowest rated we've ever done.
Man,
yeah, guys, it might be our lowest rated positive spin movie ever is now live right now. This is it was like a 1.7 or something like that.
Yeah.
I probably say in the video exactly what it is. I know it's a 1 point something.
Man, I like that movie though. There's something about it that
I know. I like
there's
it too.
something about it.
It's one of the movies I would say that has a charm to it.
It does, yeah. It definitely does. I really think that people that made it had a lot of fun making it.
It looks like they did, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see like their enjoyment.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, definitely. I liked it, so I wasn't expecting to, but I did like it.
Yeah. All right. Anybody in the chat? Anything left to say before we wrap things up?
Yep.
Going to end in about 3 minutes here, so.
3 letters for you, Joe.
I guess the whole point of this stream tonight was just to say positivity is okay. It's okay to be nice. It's okay to be positive. It's okay to like things. Not everything has to be negative. Not everything has to be hateful. Not everybody is against you. And everybody is an enemy. People can have disagreements without disliking each other. And also, just a reminder of why we do. Also, just a reminder of why we do positive spin. Slade, we do a live stream at least once a month.
Yeah.
At least. Sometimes we might do a second one. Who knows? It's still early in the month. We might do a second one by the end of the month. We typically do a stream called Physical Media Matters. This was something a little different tonight, so we may still do a physical media stream by the end of the month. We'll see. But these are fun to do. We like doing these, just hanging out, chatting. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. And like I said, 3 letters, Joe.
3 letters.
Ends with an O, ends with a D.
You're old?
No, fuck you. No, we have exactly 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
MIB. It's MIB International.
Yeah.
MIB. Hopefully, I have the other three.
Well, Slade. I mean, I would like to think that we are definitely knowledgeable when it comes to campy horror films.
Yeah.
We have some very extensive collections, and we've seen the bottom of the barrel, and we've seen the top of the heap. So, I mean,
Yeah.
and we also have a genuine appreciation for those campy horror flicks. So,
Yeah, I do like campy horror movies.
hell yeah.
They're fun.
So yeah, definitely check out our channels too if you haven't. You know, our regular videos, and like I said, we usually do this about once a month or so. Thank you, I appreciate that. And thank you everybody else for joining us tonight in the chat. Please be sure to check out our positive spin video live now. And as always, remember, physical media matters. Good night, guys.